We're live.
Hello, and welcome to the 26th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast, brought to you by Blue Microphones and Headphones. I think we got a bit to talk about this week.
No.
No? All right, I'm done that later.
Like, when the big release of the week, we got Age of Triumph, and like it's the second thing we want to talk about.
It's
right?
like the last thing on the menu.
It's like it's hardly even warranting being discussed in this podcast.
Do we have to do things chronologically? Can we just go to the?
Of course not.
I think we got to talk about the big stuff.
Yeah.
Which is Arekkz is joining us.
That's right.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, man. Really excited to have you.
Yes, it's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
So for people who don't know you, what do you do? What are you known for?
I make videos on the internet and I post them up, and then apparently people watch them. No, I run the Arekkz Gaming YouTube channel, so kind of videos on. I actually cover a wide variety of games, but Destiny is like one of my main games, so obviously that's relevant to right now. So guides, walkthroughs, tutorials, basically anything that kind of teaches people how to do stuff. So that's kind of my gig. That's where I'm at.
Awesome.
I'm going to notice by your accent as well, you are probably not from America.
I am not.
Okay. Yeah. So what time is it over there where you happen to be from?
It is currently 10 minutes past 2 in the morning.
Thank you for joining us at this horrible hour for you.
It is
Thank you.
I'm sure.
Have you noticed that the Europeans and that we've had on, like Unknown Player and
By
Arekkz, all those, they're so chipper, right?
They're also punctual as fuck.
I know.
Hey,
It's crazy.
That's the British way, right? Like we Brits pride ourselves. If you say be there at 2, I will be there at 5 minutes to 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Is it?
And you read the guest stuff.
That's right.
Well, if you give me instructions, I'm going to read them, right?
It's a very simple life. You tell me to be
Literally
there.
the second person who's ever read those instructions.
I lead my life by scheduling instructions. If it's written down, I will do it. If it's not written down, I'm lost.
Is there any
Destiny? What attracted you to Destiny when you first started playing it and then making YouTube content about it?
So it's kind of an interesting one because like it wasn't initially on my radar because I run my channel with my friend Matt or 269, and like he was actually the one that kind of initially followed it because he used to be like much more of a kind of a Halo guy. But when I finally got into it, it's definitely got to be the loot component because I play a lot of Monster Hunter, and I know quite a lot of people that are Monster Hunter fans and Destiny fans because obviously I basically just like to kind of like play things like that. I played like World of Warcraft, so anything where I can kind of just grind and get loot, like I just kind of like those sort of games. So yeah, I'm definitely more of a PvE player in Destiny than I am PvP. Like I like Crucible and stuff, but I'm definitely not like the sort of competitive player. I'm much more just sort of like, let me just do stuff, get stuff for it, and obviously fashion in Destiny is the most important thing.
It's very true.
Exactly, right? There's no point looking like screw tier 12. If I look good while I'm doing it, that's all that matters, right? I'm like,
I agree with you.
Tier
You look
10,
good, you play
fashion
good.
hunter.
Yep.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So that is but yeah, that's basically how I got into it in the alpha. Well, I've been playing since the alpha. And then I missed First Light ever since the alpha. That was like those were my highlight days. But yeah, basically just been sort of like playing since then and just loved it.
Do you remember First Light getting in and you had a limited amount of time to be on the moon, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
During the out and I just refused to turn my PlayStation off. And I explored as much of the moon as possible. I left it on at work and I taped it up and so that the controller would go, and then I came back and do you remember that? Do you guys remember like how? Man, it's like the excitement.
I remember being rather. I'm still a little bit mad at my dad because of that. I was like, Dad, the thing's gonna happen. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. And then like 20 minutes into me being on the moon, he's like, we need some cheese dip for dinner tonight. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need you to go to the store and pick that up. It's like, okay,
but the moon, Dad.
But Dad,
the
moon.
That's why you need
on
kids
there.
in a 7-Eleven within walking distance.
I think that's why you have children. Yes, I think that's the reason.
I was made to change the TV, the channel on the TV. That was their prime reasoning. They didn't have a remote control. Sound investment.
So you're an old school, Destiny guy, just like us.
Yep.
It's good to have you on.
He's a school Destiny guy. He's like an old school content creator too, for the most part. What did you do before all this? Because that's actually kind of an interesting story.
Yep.
I used to work at Microsoft before this. So worked in kind of like the gaming division for 3 years. So I started working as a senior tester on Forza Horizon 1, which I'm actually in the credits for, which is cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then I moved on from there to be producer on the video platform on Xbox One called Upload. So I worked on that for
nice.
a bit, and then the American division of Microsoft decided they didn't need us anymore. So they were like, "Hey, we don't. You can kind of go off and do your own thing." So I went full time because I ran my YouTube channel while I was at Microsoft because they had a games library and they got games early. So I was like, "Well, this is going to be a useful way to start content."
Nice.
And then just ran in the background. It's one of those things where I always wanted to go full time, but like obviously working at Microsoft was a good job, and I never would have actively quit to try and sort of take a risky job like YouTube because it was like it might not have worked out. But then having my hand forced, I was like, well, let's make it work. So I took a year out, and then that's kind of when Destiny. It was kind of cool as well because at that time I wasn't necessarily completely clear on where I wanted to go on YouTube. Like I hadn't necessarily found my place, so to speak. And then the time that I kind of left was a similar sort of time to when Destiny released. So then I kind of sort of went full time into that, started diving into like daily videos, and then just luckily managed to sort of take off, and then the rest is history, so to speak. So I've been doing it for
you're a
4 years
PlayStation
now.
main then?
Actually, Xbox One. But like the thing is, as I play it, I actually have it on both of them. But yeah, I kind of sort of play specifically where like more so where like most of my friends are. But I do feel like for Destiny 2, I'm probably going to lean more as a content creator. It's probably going to be advantageous to be on PS4. Mm-hmm. But I'm a little bit worried as to kind of whether I know most stuff isn't transferring over, but I'm sure there'll be some sort of legacy stuff like, hey, you did X, Y, and Z in this, so you might get something. I don't want to then suddenly be like, well, all my achievements are on Xbox One.
Just tell everyone you were a year one player on Xbox. I'm sure they will believe you.
they'll believe me. I'm like, I promise I did it. I can't prove it, but I did it. Yeah. To be honest, I want to play on PC. I'm hoping there'll be some kind of solution for that, but we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully the optimization is really good for it.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of that, let's get into the main event here.
Oh, baby.
Destiny 2 announced
officially.
It's official
in an awesome way.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We had multiple trailers come out this week. None of them showing gameplay, but we got a teaser, we got some gameplay, and most importantly, we know what platforms it's going to be on. We have PS4, which unfortunately exclusives that are tied to Sony are that deal is sticking around for a whole another year.
Yeah.
Xbox One, and as the rumors suggested for over like 2 years now, PC.
Yep.
But not Nintendo Switch, sadly.
No.
Yeah.
You would need like 5 Nintendo Switches to fit Destiny 2 on it.
This is true.
That's right. The rumor, PlayStation actually, it's listed as 68 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Yes.
To have clear.
Which is
that's
huge.
Do you think
that is a big file?
Do you think they're going to do 4K support, and then that would give a reason why it's huge, or do you think it's just going to be that big of a game? What do you think?
I would suspect that there is going to be 4K support
You
in
think?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the PlayStation Pro.
The current game is 54 gigs on PlayStation. So,
but whenever they put in Pro support, they have to have support for high-res textures. So it's almost like having two separate texture models.
Is that the case now?
Yeah.
Area.
Are they saying that it has to support 4K or 1440 at this point?
I want to say yes, but I'm not positive.
I think that's one of the sort of directives from Sony. I think like a lot of games going forward have to kind of sort of abide by PS4 Pro and PS4. Like obviously, games from last year, some of them got Pro patches, but I think everything moving forward should be built with PS4 Pro in mind.
Interesting.
Similar mindset for, of course, like Scorpio's coming out this year as well. So similar mindset will be for Xbox as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not to say that the PlayStation 4 it can't run any better, right? It's like they also say that it can't run at 60 frames per second on the PS4 Pro and 30 on the PS4. It's just like a visual fidelity kind of thing. So increased textures, higher reses, that kind of thing.
Actually,
fast loading stuff. Yeah.
Wasn't that for PvP though, specifically?
I think it was for PvP.
Yeah, specifically for PvP. So,
because that would be bad, right?
Right.
Like
because some
60,
games.
30.
Yeah, some games are like Dark Souls actually unlocked 60 FPS on PS4 Pro. Obviously, the PS4 it's still 30. I've been talking about this in chat in discussing how wouldn't it be okay if PvE had 30 and 60 intermingled?
It'd be hard to go back and forth though, wouldn't it, Tefty?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you're not going back and forth. You're on one.
No, but you're going back and forth between PvP and PvE.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I imagine they'll keep
weird.
it. They've been the design philosophy of Destiny has been so consistent. When it was on all 4 consoles, they were like, look, we're going to have it the same across all. I'm pretty sure that when it's on all 3, they're going to try to make the experience as streamlined as possible as far as frame rates go.
Yeah.
Across all playlists and everything.
That's what I think too.
Let's hope they lock in 60 on the consoles and have unlimited on the PC.
Yeah.
You know,
Uncharted did have 60 FPS multiplayer and 30 FPS story.
I guess for me, I mean, when I tried to do a 60 FPS game and then come back to Destiny, it was just it was almost too disorienting. I don't know. To me, it gives me motion sickness
when you go back and forth.
Yeah.
I've heard that before.
I would watch Overwatch streams like while I'm playing Destiny, and then I'd look back at the screen and be like, "Oh,
yeah,
bad, not good."
It's like it's something with your eyes, but like remember when Battlefront it was out? It was a beta or something, and it was like 60 frames per second. I would play that, and then I'd go back to playing Destiny, and it would be a weird transition for me. It'd be very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's hope.
Yeah.
So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, the trailers came out. What'd you guys think of them?
Oh my god! The trailers!
Don't everyone speak at once.
This is my hero.
Gary,
he's so funny.
Gary!
The first one was great, where he's sitting in the bar and you don't really know that there's a battle going on outside till the trailer moves on.
Yep.
And you kind of all of a sudden you realize that, and it just becomes twice as funny. And Nathan Fillion is the voice of Cade 6. He does such a fantastic job just expressing
He's so good. He's so good.
So good. And I think that's exactly what we needed. It was personality driven, story driven.
Yeah.
And that's what we needed because we didn't really get that in Destiny 1 that much. So I think it was the perfect trailer.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that level of storytelling is actually present throughout the game. And it's not just like, hey, here's a nice trailer that sets the scene, but then we're going to go back to know, So,
even if you look at the marketing materials for Destiny 1, though, there was nothing like that. What you saw from marketing materials was
that is very true.
That's
Guardians, like alone on the moon in a sparse environment fighting aliens. This is very much story-based. It's very much and that makes me very hopeful.
That's the thing. Yeah, the way they're setting this up right now, there is already a very clear antagonist set up for us to go after, and there's a reason why we're pissed off. Those things set it up perfectly to be like, here's your story. This is what the base game is going to deliver for you. And I think I'm so happy they're doing that because they started that with the Taken King, and now this is looking forward to with that as well.
The trailers were surprisingly like lighthearted for the overall tone. Like, look, the last city just got attacked by the Cabal. If you read the descriptions on YouTube, which we'll discuss this later, but like all our powers are gone, all our loot is gone. We have to go venture out. Like, this is a very grim situation, but we're joking around. It's all fun with Guardians.
It's Cade, right? Because
it's Cade,
in the newest trailer, you have the two different people making basically the same speech or a similar speech. They're trying to motivate people. Like, you got Zavala totally, trying to, get his troops in order, get them hyped up for the battle ahead. It's very serious in tone. You see, the people are just transfixed by what he has to say. And then you have Kay trying to do the same thing. And it's all about jokes. It adds some levity to what could be a very oppressive and too dark a game compared to what we have with Destiny, where it's very lighthearted.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that the tone that Bungie wants to strike with any of their games is like a Dark Souls type tone, where you're, I think that their whole mission behind playing these is like a space odyssey, like an adventure. You've got to be hopeful for the future. They don't want something, even the color tones. Did you see the color tones of the trailer? Just a lot of light,
very
browns
vibrant.
And greens.
Bleak.
And they're just, it wasn't that bleak. I mean, it felt like where the Guardians were seemed to be a safe, like, starting point, a launching off, even though they had just lost a battle. I just felt like there was still a lot of hope there.
Yeah.
And
I think that's probably their attempt as well to, I mean, one of the things they said in the Activision blog post was they're trying to sort of appeal to both, new players and existing players. And I think, if you've never played Destiny before and you saw like a super grim trailer, you might be like, how do I kind of fit into this? But that trailer itself is actually, if you've never played Destiny before, is actually quite welcoming.
Yeah.
You have your setup and it's like, all right, stuff's gone down, but there's these kind of there's these groups of people that are obviously trying to band together. And if you're not necessarily like a hardcore player and you see Cade just joking around, it's quite like, oh, this is a fun game I could jump into, sort of thing. So
absolutely,
everything you need to know about the story of Destiny is included in that trailer. As a new player, right? And it's like it's a reset point for the series, so that a new player can jump in without having to worry. Well, I didn't spend the last 3 years grinding for loot, so am I going to be left behind by? All the
and that's
people
clearly illustrated in the trailer, saying everything is gone, all your loot's gone. So new players like, oh, I can clearly jump into this. Great. And Gary's bad. Let's go kill Gary. It's awesome.
So what do you guys think about Gary? I mean, it was a funny joke, right?
It was great.
The nemesis is Gary, but I'm a little worried that he's going to be just this silent antagonist once again, where we don't get any backstories about Gary or Gaul, and we don't get to know him. We know he's attacking.
Do you think he's going to speak English?
I think.
Do you think he's going to talk to us?
Oryx spoke English. Yeah, Oryx was very menacing.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Oryx was so awesome.
Have we heard any Cabal speak?
No, I don't think
not
so.
like speak. We've heard. Whatever you call that grunting.
They grunt a fair bit, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Gary could like reach through some command and get some some dialogue going and being like, "This is why we're doing this to you because you messed with our dreadnought plans, and now we're going to blow you up and take out everything you wanted." That now it's personal for the Cabal.
Give us backup, Commander.
Well, the interesting thing as well, like
the Primus.
when he came out, like he looks like he's wearing like he's all like full armor suit, right? So you don't actually see any part of Cabal. So it's interesting to think. Obviously, I know he's like he's the Red Legion leader, but it's interesting to think, what's actually beneath that armor set. Is it just like conventional Cabal, or is it like a mutated Hive / Cabal /
It's two Cabal on top of each other.
It's two Cabals
That's
deep.
funny you say that, because you don't get a sense of scale at all for him, because there's nothing around him to like. There's no banana in frame, so you can get a sense of scale.
Definitely banana.
So it's like.
Yep.
We know as they get more powerful, seemingly anyway, from Destiny 1, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So is this guy going to be like Oryx big? Is he going to be Crota big? Like, how big is he going to be?
What if he's the exact size as the speaker, and the speaker goes missing, building blows up, and then this guy shows up, Gary?
What about the
Gary?
speaker?
What if the reason it looks
Where
like a robot
is the
is
speaker?
actually the sweeper bot, and the sweeper got pissed off because he's like his cleaning just
Because
got
we stole the
completely-
broom.
Exactly, yeah. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to beef up and I'm going to bring my friends in. He's been like a sleep
The
agent
Cabal
the whole
are
time.
actually an invasion of sweeper bots.
Exactly.
Love it.
We did see a lot of characters in this trailer, right? We saw Shax. I think we saw Xur.
Yeah.
No, Xur's
Kinda
not there.
fuzzy,
It's
but
a
it looks like
guardian.
Xur.
It's a guardian.
Yeah, we saw Zavala, we saw Korra, we saw obviously Cade. We don't see the speaker, and you'd think, he'd be part of this, right? He'd be up on there right next to Zavala, motivating the troops.
That's very true. I'm telling you, the speaker's evil,
He's evil.
man.
He floofed on out of there like a warlock.
He's very evil.
Shout
I've
bet you
never
he's
trusted
like-
him.
He seemed somewhat depressed anyway. I bet you this just ruined him, and he's in the corner crying.
Yeah, he's
I reckon
like,
he's just like jumped inside the Traveler and he's just like hiding there. He's like a little like
Yeah,
he's
he's
incubating
crying.
right now.
yeah,
he's
like
like-
cocooned in there.
The speaker also speaks for the Traveler, which had a very different look to it in the trailer.
Yeah.
There's no ghosts in the trailer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of ghosts in marketing material anyway, is there?
There's never really ghost marketing. Like in game, there's never really ghosts until you pull the damn ghost out. The ghost doesn't have to be there for the ghost to
There
actually
was some
be there.
actual cutscenes with ghosts. Little Light? Don't call me that, Little Light.
Yeah.
Oh no, not cutscenes, like
But in game
CG stuff.
Marketing material is what I'm talking
So the
about.
only time that I saw what looked like
Collector's
light
edition was,
was one of the warlocks had a bond that was shimmering a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I didn't see anybody with any sort of bling that gave me an indication that their light was active.
Like
Well,
Korra.
this is the thing.
Korra had her
Our Stormcaller melee.
Stormcaller.
Yeah, I saw that. And I
Oh,
was
in
like,
the
damn.
in the fight though, right?
She was shotgun mailing.
yeah.
Like a classic.
She was.
Speaker seemed to have like some kind of. I thought of it as a force field. Some people thought it might be on fire. It looks like if the Cabal came down and put a force field around the Traveler, it could be that we have been blocked off from our light. That could be how they explain us not having our supers and our.
Or
powers.
maybe
it
that's the reason
definitely-
why the speaker is gone, because he went and activated some sort of failsafe force field on it.
Maybe.
You're not going to give up on the speaker, are you, Tufty?
Speaker's
Speaker's
evil.
evil. He is evil. No, I'm completely with you. And something that it did say as well is that we're definitely getting new abilities because it states in a lot of places new and devastating abilities.
Yeah, devastating.
So, and all of the leaks that came, like with the shield and like the pole thing, if those are to be true, I'm wondering where we get the abilities from because it seemed like they were like clothed in fire. So
you're talking about that kind of mini trailer that we saw images of from an artist last summer. Yeah. So we saw that's the first time we saw like the everything on fire, a warlock, a titan, and a hunter, and we saw the two like written in flames.
Yeah.
That was confirmed as purely concept, though, guys. And nothing, but it's possible.
It doesn't look like it now, does it?
It doesn't look like it. Did you see the Destiny 2 leak? Like the writing, the writing's exactly the same. Like the city looked exactly the same. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, yes.
Well, no, and I want to. It was engulfed in flames, though. It wasn't necessarily like the
also Nolan North. Also, Nolan North, the voice of the Ghost, confirmed he's in Destiny 2. So that conversation of ghosts not being there is
right. But there could be a period where the ghosts are dead for a reason or deactivated, and that could give a reason for them to kill off a character or two because there's no ghost resurrection thing going on.
Without the ghosts, it's hard to justify how we get resurrected in battle.
So it's Destiny.
You know, perma-Destiny.
Perma-Destiny until you get your ghost unlocked. Like, if you can't get past the first tutorial stage, then you're...
Get good.
Get good, kid.
There is a game like that where you only have one life, and if you die, it's a flash game, and it just tracks you based on like your computer. If you die in it, that's the one attempt that you had.
They're called roguelikes. It's a whole genre of game.
Well, no. This is like a literal. You only have one attempt ever in your entire life to complete this game,
or that computer's life,
or that computer's life. At least, you got to buy a new computer
until you reinstall your operating system and change IP addresses.
There you go.
Wow.
Anything about the trailer? Anybody else wants to mention?
I like that Cade's speech confirmed that we don't really need to know who we're killing as long as there's loot involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need to know
lots of loot.
Yeah, lots
of
loot.
Lots of loot.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to see Sharknado. I mean, Shark Dog.
Shark Dog monster robot guys.
Those look
amazing.
amazing.
They're a real pain to fight, aren't they? They're gonna be one of those like super fast pack enemies that you just like they run towards you and you're just like, oh, leave me alone. Yeah. Dogs in any game are always a right pain to fight.
Yep.
Yes.
And it looked like their heads and shoulders were armored.
Yeah.
So if that means they can take more damage if they're running straight at you, like you gotta get them from the side possibly.
Like Rhino
wait for him to jump.
Yeah, shoot him on the belly.
That's what Kate did, right?
Yeah, it seemed like it seemed pretty interesting. I only noticed maybe a handful of guns that I could recognize. There was Kate 6 had
Ace of Spades.
What is it? Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
I saw some like kind of generic
some Vanguard weapons.
Shadow Price, some
Omelon, possibly auto rifle.
Yep.
Just overall very generic weapons that we've seen.
Like I hesitate to look too far into what they're carrying for weapons and armor because at this early point I don't know how much they want to give away.
Yeah. That's how I feel about
even
it
if
too.
they are showing stuff that is in Destiny 2, it could possibly be like yellow tier gear or I'm sorry, a white tier gear, you know?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Which wouldn't that be amazing though? All of the best legendaries are common crap in Destiny 2.
I want to point out that last week when I was going on my rant about what possibly could be happening for Destiny 2, I theorized that we would be losing our powers and we would have to gain new ones.
I still don't believe you.
I said that when we were still on the Planet Destiny podcast. I got argued down by every co-host here.
Wasn't me. I wasn't here. Not me. Briar.
Give me the recording.
I literally got argued down by every co-host on that.
No, he totally did.
I remember that.
Briar totally did, and I fully supported him the entire time.
This is shenanigans.
I remember thinking bollocks on that too. I was like, lose all our powers, Briar? Come on, man. What is this crack rock you're smoking?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not trying to take the thunder from you, Briar. You know, I didn't remember that, but I did talk about it last week, and I thought that it was exciting. The idea of having lost our equipment and our powers and everything, and we're heading out and we're going to start and getting new powers. Where do you think we're going to get our multiple powers from?
From the fire.
One's fire, but what else?
I'm hoping it might be like, because the thing is, if like one of the things I'm really hoping Destiny 2 does, and I think some of the investor calls make it sound like they're doing it anyway, is like if the world is much more open, much more expansive, kind of more like an MMO, then hopefully it might well be, if ever you play things like World of Warcraft and some stuff like that, sometimes abilities are tied to quests and things like that, or it happens in Final Fantasy 14 as well. So it might well be that while we're venturing around, the world, and we're eventually to loads of different places, we might go to different towers, encounter different NPCs, and then they'll sort of teach us stuff at the same time. So you might go somewhere to get your Stormcaller fancy new ability or your gunslinger ability, and also it's a nice chance for them to like reinvent things, because I think given that our characters and our classes are coming over, we obviously know that I would imagine that means that certain elements of it are still going to remain constant. So I would imagine we'll still have like hunters with maybe the 3 subclasses we're used to, but they'll still give them a chance to like reinvent it. So gunslinger in D2 probably won't be anything like Gunslinger in D1, for example.
Yeah.
Assuming that happens.
There's something that I found pretty interesting just about the trailers. There's a few things. So first thing is that there's the like Cade and Zavala are separate giving speeches. So do we maybe have to pick a side, or like maybe we pick a starting point, which could then dictate our journey through at least the beginning part of the game?
Yeah, I took it as like if you start as a hunter, titan, or warlock, I'm assuming you're going to get a beginning quest line for that. That's different from each of those.
That would be cool.
Yeah, kind of like
because then it further impacts your choice of what do I want to be, and like why am I making this choice? What's my play style? So I'm really hoping they hone in on that of actual reasons to pick a class rather than just like
the trailer really sets it up too, because they smash the tower, everything's in disarray, and the factions are broken apart, and people need to be rallied together. So you either pick Cade, Ikora, or Zavala, and you're essentially working with them.
Anybody but Cade.
No, but like you're essentially working with them. You're working with them to rebuild the factions, to rebuild the support, to get everybody rallied up to fight
the Vanguards.
Again. Yeah, and that's probably going to be having to go around the maps on Earth to re-strengthen the Vanguard. That'll be a fun quest line. It'll give you a reason to do each character.
I hope they do more with factions as well. In that, you mentioned factions. I hope they do actually like flesh that out a lot more in D2. Like, I don't want it just to be like you earn reputation with a faction. Like, if you could actually properly align with one. Like, imagine if aligning with New Monarchy means a lot more than just I'm getting a reputation. Like, if you're that could be really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you actually go visit New Monarchy instead of just having a guy standing in the tower? Now the tower's destroyed.
Yeah.
What if you go to their secret hideout in Skull Mountain?
Yeah. I mean, again, there's something that sort of happens a lot in, similar thing in Final Fantasy 14. Like, you have to earn reputation with them before you can even start dealing with them. Like, if that was sort of thing where you have to go and do X number of quests for New Monarchy before you can even start actually getting recognition from them, then that could be, there could be a whole lot of stuff that evolves from that.
That'd be great.
So, the exciting thing about having a new game on the horizon, right? So we haven't seen the gameplay yet, so it's just wide open to speculation. On May 18th, we will get to see. Right. The game.
So I got some more speculation also. Sorry, Pope, to cut you off.
No, go.
I am speculating the fact that most of the base game is going to be on Earth, and very little of it's going to be on other planets. When we got Destiny 1, it was like Earth, wow, that was awesome. Boom, Moon, holy crap, Venus, Mars, and then we're like, okay, we did all these planets. That was awesome, but now what? Okay, raid time. I think they're going to give us a huge Earth. It's going to be like Cosmodrome, and then old Europe, and then Chicago and stuff like that. And most of the base game is going to be in those areas. And then there'll be a few times that we have to go out to different planets, but I don't think the other planets are going to be as open and explorable as Earth is. And then in the future, expansions.
Everybody talks about our vault being in the tower, but there's something else in the tower is the hangar and our ship.
Exactly. Yeah. The ships get whacked. And where's Amanda? They better not kill off Amanda.
She's not dead.
She's not dead.
Called it now. She's dead.
Amanda's not dead. She just lost another limb.
They did say it is confirmed that there's going to be new destinations around our solar systems.
Right.
So we're definitely leaving Earth at some point. But like you said, everything kind of got destroyed. So.
Yeah. You're going to have to gain our way back to finding a way to get off the planet.
Yeah, I just don't think they're going to give us a massive sweeping Earth and then a massive sweeping, somewhere like a moon on Saturn or something, and then a massive sweeping Mars. Like, they're going to phase us into this content.
what if we got the massive sweeping Earth, like you're saying, Tefty, and then perhaps a massive sweeping Mars, because that directly relates to the Cabal.
To the Cabal, you're right.
And then in the DLCs, which we already saw, hints at, then we see Mercury.
Yeah.
In a DLC. Like that adds not just, story missions in places that we've already been, but it adds a whole nother planet and a whole new area to go explore.
The DLC is the Osiris emblem.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I picked Mercury.
Yeah.
Right. No, I know, but just to explore that, to flesh that out, right?
Yeah.
So
We've
got Osiris is the one of the
Which
symbol
is
on,
so exciting.
which is exciting.
That's
so
what I wanted for so long.
When I saw that, I said, okay, so what Bungie's doing is they're going to be doing one that it has some PvE elements to it, but is around the lore of PvP and with some PvP extra stuff in there. And then the second one is about the Warmind, and it's going to be, have some PvP part of it, but it's going to be focused on PvE.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think of that as far as the expansion? One focused on PvP, one focused on PvE, or no?
I think they have to have both PvE and PvP every time.
I think it's going to
agree.
be equally spread. It's just that obviously in the Osiris one, we know it for PvP, but I think it's going to be fleshed out in a story type PvE way to actually find out what the hell happened to Osiris.
Right.
Why does he hate the speaker so much? Why is Brother
It
Vance
is
blind?
exciting lore.
I don't know.
Well, and he's inside of the the lighthouse. There's where we find his body or his campground.
You know what that looks like, Pope?
Vex.
Vex. Also, Mercury was transformed into a Vex machine within days. Remember that line or whatever the hell?
I remember it.
So that expansion would be just a milky sweet Vex expansion with some
Really cool.
A little bit
Cyrus.
of Vex milk
Mm.
to suck down. Tasty.
This game is going to cost me a pretty penny.
Yes.
$250 for the collector's edition.
Yes.
That's a lot of money for a collector's edition.
That
mean,
is-
that's-
You get a fancy bag with it though.
yeah.
I do
bag
get a
is
fancy
pretty
and a
cool.
solar charger for my phone.
Yes.
Yes, that's
And
cool.
it's Hawthorne's bag.
Hawthorne's
Oh yeah,
bag.
Hawthorne,
Who is
guys.
that?
Let's talk about Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Who is that? That's
Hawthorne is we don't know if she's a guardian. We're pretty sure she's just a normal human who left the last city to go out into the wilds.
She's like
And
the
this
Davy
was-
Crockett.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
she's the stranger.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
snap.
Hawthorne's
What?
the identity
My-
revealed. What?
What if she's the
What if
speaker?
she
What if she's the
is-
speaker?
No,
Because that's where the
stop
speaker
it.
completely
Oh,
been.
I don't buy that. The stranger ain't
Your
evil.
little bag.
Stranger can never be evil.
Who's she talking to?
Osiris.
Yeah. Who is
I
she
mean,
talking
maybe solar is a clue to
to? The
who
solar
Hawthorne is.
cell phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
yeah. Whoever it is comes from a sunny place, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunny.
Yeah.
So is everybody on the podcast buying the collector's edition?
Yes.
I already pre-ordered it.
I am hoping to have a collector's edition. Yes.
The bag said
You're
it.
not looking to buy one.
The bag said it could only hold a 15-inch laptop. What type of pussy shit do you think I'm packing? No, we're not. We're not going for a 15-inch laptop. We're getting at least 21-inch laptop here.
What are you doing with a 21-inch laptop?
I already pre-ordered
You
the
can't
digital
handle
deluxe.
21 inches.
Play solitaire in HD.
Minesweeper in 4K?
yeah.
Widescreen.
Dude, 4K Minesweeper with like 200 by 900 grid. That's how to play.
You do have a point.
Yes.
It does sound good.
Yeah.
No, he does
doesn't
not.
have a point.
Tefty.
On the airplane? Excuse me.
don't
Let
encourage
me open
him.
up my 25-inch laptop. Sorry about this.
It takes up 2 rows. I bought 2
I
seats.
have-
Bought
I
2
have-
seats just for my laptop.
3 PlayStations to buy, 3 consoles to buy the game for. So I'm going to order 1 collector's edition and 2 digitals.
Digital Deluxe?
Well, you can just buy one digital,
Yeah.
can't you? Just play them on all the consoles.
Exactly.
We play at the same time.
Yeah.
No, you can still do that.
I-
Memes and I play at the same time, and she's she's on my main PS4, and then the PS4 that I use just logs in as my PSN account. So you can like,
You could share.
yeah,
You could share PSN.
You can share up to 1, right? Not 2.
Up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
1.
yeah, 1.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's just easier for me when you're in the same network. I'm with my wife and son playing. I found that it's just so many different problems getting into the same fire team, getting together. If I just had one game for each console, and I don't I don't have to worry about it. It's much smoother.
Well, and they say they fix that with every update. So
Yeah, I've actually, I've personally never had a fire team issue with playing with memes.
No.
Yeah,
I think
I've
it depends on
experienced the
networking
issue.
equipment at home too.
Yeah.
So the collector's edition, it comes with the game. Obviously, it comes with Cabal booklet. It comes with the steel case. It comes with the bag that we mentioned earlier. A solar blanket. Is that one of those
I don't know what that is.
It's like basically an
blanket?
aluminum foil blanket.
Survival thing.
Okay.
To keep you
It's a survival.
running, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So
Oh,
she's
like
totally
Harker?
from Osiris or something. Whoever Hawthorne is totally in sun somewhere really hot.
No.
No.
It's when it's really cold.
Survivalist on Earth. Yeah.
Hot and cold. Maybe it's Antarctica.
She's like the Bear Grylls, or what? Isn't that his name? The survivalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like the
Yes.
Bear Grylls
Yep.
of the Destiny land. David Crockett meets Bear Grylls, and we're gonna go meet up
Yes.
with her and be like, "Teach us your ways. The tower's broke. I can't get a tune-up on my Sparrow."
Yes.
For $100, you could buy the limited edition, which comes with just the steelbook case and the Cabal pamphlet and a couple of other
Everything but the bag.
postcards and paper goodies. And then both of those editions also come with in-game items: a legendary sword,
An emote.
an emote,
And a Cabal themed emblem.
Yeah.
I kind of want to get the collector's edition just because I am moving to Seattle, and I imagine it'll be cold there, so then I could wrap myself up in it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's totally worth the $250 for the for
Money well
that
spent.
edition.
Also, for $100, you can buy the digital. Is it called the digital special edition? Digital
Deluxe.
I got the digital
deluxe edition, which is $100. It comes with the 3 in-game items, but none of the obviously the out-of-game stuff. Which to me, it should be a little cheaper, just because you're not getting that physical stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can buy the $60. Oh, and all those also come with the DLCs, the first and second DLC. And
Osiris and Rasputin. Yes.
You can buy the $60 edition. That's just the standard game, and then buy the DLC separately.
Yep. Oh, what do you guys think about 2 expansions coming in the course of a year? I'm assuming it's 1 year. Expansion Pass is the first year of Destiny 2.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like it.
Please.
This is what been brought.
I hope
This is
there's
what
live-
Briar's
Yeah.
preaching.
But
Yeah, I hope there's live events in between.
do you
Yeah.
do you think it's going to be each one is going to have a raid?
I hope so.
I mean, but yeah, it'd be cool if they did.
3 raids in
Yeah.
1 year, guys?
An Osiris PvP.
One a year
raid.
isn't enough.
Oh my god.
I mean, what's your favorite year of Destiny, Tefty?
Constant everything. All day, every day. I want constant new content. I love it.
No, I'm saying what year out of the 3 years?
favorite
we
year,
played,
my
what's
bad.
your favorite?
I thought you said, what's my ideal year? First year.
Hey, we got the most content.
True, it was only 2 raids.
I would like to see a return to that. I feel like one piece of DLC or expansion a year has just not been enough to
No, it's not.
satiate our appetite.
I mean, they need to have a constant flow. I mean, again, I know I kind of keep going back to these obviously things like Warcraft and Final Fantasy, but they have a similar sort of model where they have relatively regular content updates. Some of them are smaller. They'll just add events and whatnot, but they're still frequent enough to the point where you never really hit that dry period.
Mm-hmm.
And then around them you also have significant updates. So if expansion 1 and 2 came out every say 3 months or 3 or 4 months, and then in between that you still got things that they need to add actual value and not just sort of a timed week event. It needs to be realistically they need to add content that's just once it's there, it's still there for the foreseeable future. It's not just a week window kind of thing.
Yep.
Seasonal events are cool and everything, but yeah, I think they have to. I mean, again, something that they said in the investor call at the end of last year, seems like they've got a better pipeline for sort of delivering content. So hopefully that means that they'll actually be able to they'll be able to kind of push out the content they want.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in 2 extra studios to help work on this stuff. Theoretically, they're the ones, really kind of driving the DLC. They get the direction, obviously, on story and everything from Bungie. But
I thought they were working on the PC port, actually.
One of them was.
One of them is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only concern, guys, is that I hear what you're saying, but it seems like the best platform that we talked about before would be you get the release 3 months later, you get a content drop that isn't raid focused, but it's good. It's a refresh. It's interesting story stuff. And then 6 months after the major release, you have a major DLC that gives a raid. And, it's kind of like a Taken King type of style of content drop. 3 months later, you get another live update / refresh of things. And then you have the next year, which I'm assuming would be, you know what I mean? Another big,
Yeah.
like a King's Fall type of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's stuff to do, right? I think that's the main thing. It doesn't really matter, too much like where they're sort of spread out. I mean, as long as you say, every sort of few months you've got something solid to do.
Yeah.
Then I think that's all right.
That's true. I'm just trying to think like, okay, if they for sure have 2 expansions scheduled, how are they going to space this out? And it's going to make sense for us, and also not suddenly be back in the same year 1.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, they need to make it last a year, right? I mean, because at least a year for sort of for development behind the scenes to effectively allow them to then work on whatever's after that, right? So they probably won't push it out too fast.
Yeah.
It's like filler episodes on an anime to allow the manga to build up content.
Exactly.
Fillers are the worst.
So, the Destiny or the Bungie that is developing Destiny 2 is not the same that developed Destiny 1. They've learned so much about how people play their game. They didn't know that we were going to be ravenous like we are all the time. They didn't know we'd be putting 2,500, 3,000 hours into their game at the outset.
Well, the original estimation, people thought the original estimation, like they're like, oh, people will play about 30 minutes a day, and then the average was closer to about 2 hours per day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope that they see how we did that, and now they are going to provide that content on a regular drip feed that, like it was in year 1. It was a much more exciting time in year 1 than year 2 or year 3, because instead of, one big expansion like Kingsfall and then a year later, one much smaller expansion like Days of Iron.
Well, I will say I don't want to like year 1, because year 1 was a lot of recycled content. I don't want them to do that. I want legit content that's being brought forward, and I want a schedule to feel like we get the raid now, we get different type of update later, and then a raid 6 months later. Like that.
Yeah. Nobody here is advocating for recycled content.
Yeah.
No.
It seems like we're going to have a much clearer roadmap now that we have DLCs actually being shown that this is the DLCs that are coming. So it seems like we're going to know a lot more information about what's coming and what we can expect.
Speaking of
roadmaps, the game developed from the ground up with that in mind.
Yeah.
With that roadmap in mind.
For sure.
Yeah, like speaking of roadmaps, they've already put out a Destiny 2 roadmap. At least Deej did.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kind of.
They had the story reveal today. Yeah. Gameplay reveal will be in May. Beta this summer. Launch in September.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I mean, it's a roadmap.
True.
It is a roadmap.
Yeah.
It is. And I can't wait for the gameplay reveal.
Me too.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
Huge.
I mean,
what do you think they're going to show us?
60 frames per second?
Dedicated servers? Connecting to dedicated server right now. Oh my god, it told you.
They'll probably run through one of the early missions, right? I mean, you look back to kind of one of the things they did during, what was it, like the original Destiny 1 reveals. They'll probably pick like a mission that's not like the start, so we don't necessarily get the spoilers and stuff, and then walk through a little bit, try and show us some classes.
Yeah.
The equivalent of a strike.
Yeah,
they don't want to give away like too much of the story.
True.
They want us to first load in and like see what happens to the last city for ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be cool.
Do you think we're gonna play?
Maybe it would just be PvP.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
You don't really show anything.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, it looks super good. Oh,
true.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna
here's a
mission?
supers?
Do you think they're gonna have a mission where you witness the tower breaking apart? Like you're in the middle of the tower.
In the beta?
That would be awesome.
That would be with like set pieces and stuff where you're actually having to like run away and like get out of the tower.
Yeah, like
it's like blowing up.
You wake up
really
or something,
cool.
and your Fatebringer next to you. You're like, hey, Fatebringer, and then all of a sudden the tower shakes. You pick it up or something, and then it like gets knocked out of your hand because of craziness, and then you're witnessing the vault crack apart. And
oh wait. What about this, Defty? Say if you had a Bungie, if you played Destiny year 1, right? Destiny, the day, like they give us a date, and whatever your character is wearing and holding on to that day is what your character wakes up with in Destiny 2. But you only have like what's in the magazine. You can't refill. I don't know.
Space ammunition is gone, guys.
Right, you're gone. There's no.
I feel like that transition is going to happen in a cutscene, right?
I know.
Your guardian's gonna like pull out their gun, and then a massive explosion is gonna shake it out of your hand, and then it's just a 5-minute cutscene of you like chasing your gun as it slowly bounces down the
Chasing
Like
your
the
favorite.
squirrel chasing the nut in the Ice Age movies.
Yeah.
Squirrel chasing the nut, the football bounces away. Yeah, exactly.
But what's actually interesting about that is that the Guardians or the people, whoever that were in the trailers, they had armor and they had some weapons.
True.
Yeah.
So where do they come from? Where are those weapons?
It's some other
you're
stockpiles
wearing.
around the city.
That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
specifically,
I don't know.
Ace of Spades. He's
Yeah.
Well,
using,
that's
he's using
Cade's
Ace.
gun.
Yeah, but
Well,
he's
Cade, give it
because
to
it's
me.
his
though,
using
gun.
because
Ace
I'm
of
a hunter.
Spades.
It's his
Why
gun.
does
It's all
Cade
Cade
might
get to
lend
keep his
us
gun,
his-
but we don't?
Yeah.
because Cade is cool.
No, that's not an excuse.
No, I think one thing to remember about this is that just because you see something in the trailer doesn't mean that it's absolutely going to appear in
True.
Destiny 2.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm
that is-
totally-
CG trailers are notorious for their in-game accuracy,
I'm
right?
holding Bungie to them, and if
Yeah.
they're not in there, I'm rioting.
Pope, I would have said a week ago that whatever you see in these trailers and in these images is absolutely like it's been so well looked over by Bungie that there's no way that we're going to see, let's say, a second Traveler in a promotional.
Oh dear.
Until Cade fan fires an Ace of Spades,
Uh-huh.
then I
You can't do
realize
that?
there's.
You haven't unlocked that perk?
Mm,
Yeah, you're not a real hunter.
I'm just
I'm
saying,
hoping
just
though.
because we see Ikora Ray use the help me out with the name of that.
Comedian.
Mhm.
Comedian.
Thunderstrike.
I was thinking of her melee.
Oh, Thunderstrike.
Storm, yeah, Thunderstrike.
Yeah, just because we see her use a Thunderstrike doesn't mean that all the abilities are coming back to Destiny 2. Just because we see a
True.
comedian doesn't mean we're going to get a comedian. Because we see the Ace of Spades doesn't mean we're going to get an Ace of Spades.
True.
I better get Sharknado. I'm telling you that right now.
That's not an available super. I'm sorry.
Mm.
I'm hoping we
When I-
get to see what's through the other door in the tower before they destroy the bloody thing.
Oh, that'd be
this whole
nice.
time,
Oh,
that's
that's
it, like,
Black door?
come-
Yeah.
yeah, like come on, like, I want to know if they blow up the tower without telling me, I'm going to be. It must be where that ramen restaurant is, the one that Kate talks
You're
about.
That's
right.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
I always
let me go there and
imagine.
have my last meal.
I always
would be
imagine
awesome.
Zur pot like always bringing his cart of exotics through that door or something, and like tucking it off to the side and then setting up shop like every time.
So you're saying everything in Destiny is behind that door. Every piece of loot
Full-
in Destiny is behind that
That's the
door.
vault. That's the vault.
That's the real vault that we haven't been able to access. Oh my god, you guys!
Oh.
it's got alpha weapons,
Imagine
beta
if they did
weapons.
that. Like, just the one day before Destiny comes out, they expand the vault space. They're like, ha, you can get as much as you want, and then they blow up the tower. They're like, ha!
That's a very Bungie thing to do, I feel like.
I would love to see it just to watch Briar's face just melt in a conniption.
We also learned this week, I know it feels like it happened, weeks ago, that there is going to be a beta, an open beta.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Yes,
That was this week.
that was this
Yes.
week.
Pre-order to get access, early access.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the beta is going to be open to everybody. You don't need a pre-order to get access to the beta.
Right.
You need a
Yeah.
pre-order to get
Early
early
access.
access.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And there's no exclusivity by console for that.
Not that we know
Doesn't
of,
sound like it.
but for Destiny 1, they announced an alpha at the PlayStation G3 press conference.
Yeah.
And then the
Okay.
beta also had more days on PlayStation than any other console. It had
Yeah.
it had like 3 more days that you could play it.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something similar to that again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I foresee that they will do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. When do you think the beta? They've officially said for sure the summer.
Summer.
So
I reckon August, beginning of August. 'Cause,
Beginning
like,
August?
I think that's when the Age of Triumph book ends somewhere around the beginning of August. I think. So I think it basically be like you get your Triumph stuff out of the way, then that's physically done. For anyone that wants to get the T-shirt and stuff, they're like they're capped off. They can't actually do anything else. And from that point on, you're gonna be you'll still probably still play Destiny 1 and whatnot, but it'll be like there's not really much else to do.
Mhm.
And also that means that E3 is finished. They can then do their kind of post E3 marketing and whatnot, and then just like give people a chance to. Because I think last year the beta dropped while people were at E3, which was a little bit weird because obviously some people were trying to cover it and be at E3, which is a bit messed up. So I think August probably makes sense, especially if they lead it with first week of August as well, because then they could then finish the beta. And then Gamescom is the end of August, so if they then want to kind of do additional gameplay at Gamescom, because that's how they've typically done stuff with Destiny. They reveal at E3 and then they do gameplay and hands-on at Gamescom.
interesting. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like
As
that.
long as it's not during Guardian Con.
yeah,
Yeah, that would
hopefully
suck.
not,
It
hopefully
could
not.
be. And that would, man.
That would create some tension.
That
Sure
would be like that. I'd be really bad because I'd be heavily considering not going to Guardian Con.
I think
but I'm pretty sure
financially
not.
I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a tough.
Or
Decision.
everyone would just sit in the corner and be like, "Can we set up some TVs and a lot of consoles?" Like, you came here to meet me. I'm sorry.
If you came here to meet me, you can watch us play the game and make YouTube videos. It'll be like a stream, but in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can bring me drinks.
Perfect.
That's right. That's social interaction, right?
I said Diet Coke.
Yeah, exactly. What is this? No.
Oh God.
Is there anything else we want to talk about with the trailers with Destiny 2?
May 18th. Excitement.
There was one thing actually. I forgot when we were kind of like dissecting the trailer. Bit of a stretch because obviously going back to when we were saying stuff that you see in the trailer doesn't necessarily transpire. But the scene where there was a little ship fighting the kind of massive ships. Now, I'm going to read into this far too much, but do you think that's potentially hinting at there being a little bit more to do with ships than just being a glorified loading screen?
Yes.
Could it hint at ship combat?
Maybe.
Yes, we
I would love
it.
to believe it, but we've seen ship combat in cutscenes before.
True.
It didn't
And
end
yet
well
there's
for
still a
us.
glorified loading screen.
However,
This is true.
in Reach, there was a fantastic space mission where you got to do some dogfights. So they have done.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, they have done a space fighting mission before. So
If there was just one mission, so at least I felt like I got a use out of my ship, I would be like, you know what? I'll let you have that.
Remember the original Sword of Crota mission where you're like, oh, that was such a cool mission.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like you used it until obviously the Dark Below came out, and then you ended up using that. What if it was something like that? It was just one random mission with a ship, and then
That'd be cool.
it ends up being like a major part to a raid later.
honestly, guys, this would set it up really well for them to actually tie our inventory to our ship that we find. Because right now, it's purely cosmetic. But with the tower getting exploded, now we got to find a new place to store all of our stuff. You keep finding these new ships. It's got more vault space. Oh my God. You want more vault space? We'll go find a better ship. It's up to you.
There's got to be millions of
No
ships
Man's
around.
Sky.
There's a lot of fucking Guardians.
Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Collector's edition bonus. You get that bag. Also, you get that bag in game, so you can carry additional stuff.
Yes.
There you go.
More parts.
Bigger
There you
vault
go.
space.
And a blanket.
The
Keeps you nice and warm.
slots.
Yeah, that I think you get a ship, and you now have an open space, kind of like a patrol space that becomes where you fly off of Earth and to something else, a la No Man's Sky. You get to fly your ship someplace.
Oh, you think you'll actually get that No Man's Sky where you can actually fly from planet to planet?
Fuck
I mean,
no transition.
Take off, transit. No, I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I feel like
Whatever. I'd love it.
I would love it too.
if
That'd
they
be
put that
amazing.
in the game and they don't have dedicated servers, I'm gonna be like, you spent all this time making that cool transition when you could have been working on dedicated servers.
I don't know. That transition is really cool though.
It's cool for
It
like
sold
5
a lot
times.
of people on No Man's Sky. We did actually get a piece of new content this week too.
We did.
We did?
Did we?
Yeah.
No. Wait. There's still one more thing from the trailer.
What is
it's
it?
Exos
What's
can
that?
drink. Exos can drink.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you
It might
sure?
be
So
oil.
that's not like
Yeah.
motor oil.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
glowing.
that looks like
Lubricant?
some.
Did he actually ever drink it?
He didn't, but I'm gonna think that he did. Yeah.
So
It looked like either antifreeze or really, really high quality absinthe.
I think you're projecting.
I don't drink antifreeze, Briar.
You know, an Exo robot would
Anymore.
need antifreeze.
Unconfirmed.
Oh, man.
And spicy ramen. Spicy ramen. Out of all the recipes in the world, it is fortunate that spicy ramen made it to the last city.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
The Last Supper.
All right,
Yeah.
so we got Age of Triumph. Everybody been playing Age of Triumph, obviously.
Hell yeah.
We got the
Yes.
Turn of Crota's raid, which I got to say was super fun to run for the first time,
Yeah.
and now run it 7 times, and it remains fun every time,
Yep.
which is kind of astonishing for a raid that's been around for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about those changes, though?
The changes that they made, I think, were spot on.
Yep.
Yes.
The bridge,
So good.
so fun.
The bridge is my favorite part of the raid now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously just
Yeah.
because when we were trying to work it out, obviously we're sitting there trying to like send people across the bridge as you normally would, and the second all the swords dropped, we were like, no way.
Swords!
It was mixed up.
It's a sword party.
It just becomes this like massive like riot of like swords and sword bearers, and it's just going crazy. It's so fun.
Yeah.
You can't help but giggle while you do it.
It also,
and then the gatekeepers come out, and it's got like the victory horn things. You just keep killing them.
yeah, it also feels like they were alerted. You know, you got across the bridge, and then suddenly everybody in Crota's End was like, "What? Guardians are on the bridge? Go! We got to take care of these guys."
It was hilarious. The first run that we did through, like we got 5 people across the bridge. I think Tefty, you were the last one over. You're the last one. We all just started shouting. We're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! Tefty, you should get a sword and come on over." And you're just like, "What's going on, guys?"
I was like, "The sword bear didn't come out. What are you doing? Why is?"
And we're all just like, "Yeah, this is great." We just completely forgot about you on the other side.
Yeah, I was like, "I didn't get the sword bear to come out, guys. What the hell's going on here?"
And then you grab the sword, Tefty, and you make it across, and you're like, "Hey guys, I didn't need to kill the sword bear."
Well, talk about a change too, because if you're used to doing it normally, you're like, all right, there's always one of these that come out, and you know, there's like a sequence to it, and then suddenly that just showing up. They got rid of the 2 wizards and the ogres thing completely because they realized that was just bad. Suddenly it's a party. Yeah. Suddenly, if you like lose a couple people and you can't get 5 across to do the all the swords, it's like it's a wipe. No way. We're doing all the swords because that's fun.
Yeah, you're right, Tefty. You know, it's also significantly harder the more people you lose along the way.
Yeah.
If you only got 3 people during that melee, you can start losing people pretty quick with all those.
True.
I think you get 2 tapped right by those knights.
Basically.
Yes. Yes, you can. Yeah. Yes, you can. And if 2 of them happen to hit you at the same time,
that wombo combo.
It's good night.
Yeah, it's good night. Yeah. No, I really found that it was a welcome transition, a lot of fun. Did you hear about anybody still being able to cheese it at all?
I
didn't try, but I mean,
it must be cheesable because I think somebody soloed it, right?
Yeah, you can. The only thing I think you can still do the semi-cheese like solo bridge build.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like coming on and off of the.
You get what you do is as a Sunsinger, you obviously have self-res.
I don't need to explain how to do the cheese.
Well, you go across and then you die, but then you basically get the sword across, and then you die, and then teleports you back, and you get another sword across. So basically, you start farming up a bunch of gatekeepers, and then kill them all at once with one of the sword supers, and then you can keep.
The throwaway had also been changed subtly. At the very end, thank you very much, Pope. At the very end, there were wizards. It felt like there were more knights as well. It felt like a more chaotic.
That's in general, right? Yeah.
And the Death Singer challenge,
yes,
I think is probably the really best raid challenge because it's a totally different encounter.
Yeah,
it's not just like do it this way. It's a completely added encounter onto the whole Death Singer thing.
You know what I like about that challenge too is that it calls back how that raid originally worked, where you killed Iryu. Originally, you killed Iryu, and then you just had to kill everything else, and it was painful and boring. Now you've still got to do that, except you got to do it before you kill Iryu, and they made it part of the challenge, which I think it's brilliant. They got rid of the boringness of killing everything, made it exciting. You got to do it in like 2 minutes or less, and it's really fun now. It's a great challenge.
I think so far that is one of the best. That's probably, in my opinion, the best challenge mode that they've ever done. Because from World of Warcraft, there used to be like the push the button to start the challenge mode effectively, and that's kind of like the same thing. You have to do a very specific thing that you wouldn't normally do during the fight that you have to choose to do. You can't accidentally activate it or accidentally complete it. You do it. It happens. Cool. Yeah. Like that is a very well done challenge mode, and it's pretty difficult too. Like
it is.
All of our groups were, finishing with maybe 5 to 10 seconds left on the liturgy.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah.
About that
There's
time.
also a failed notification.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Yes.
It tells
that
you
is a very
failed.
nice quality of life change.
I did not see that.
I hope that carries on to all the other ones. I hope.
Well, you had to have failed the challenge, Stefty, to see it.
Yeah, that's why you might have missed it.
Like,
that's why you did.
If you kill Ariat, and it'll say challenge failed.
Yeah.
If you do anything wrong on either of the challenges, Crota challenge included.
Yeah.
It will say it in the text thread.
Oh, okay, nice. I haven't seen that at all. I mean, Yeah, we haven't
You're
killed
just
her
too
yet.
OP. That's all.
No, I mean I haven't actually. Okay, yeah, that's what it is.
Challenge mode spoilers, by the way.
I've been
No,
having
you
a
know,
great
I-
time with it though. Like they're fantastic.
I did two in two. The loot drops are insane. I did 2
Yes.
raids and got all the exotics.
Yep.
And
How much
like,
armor did you get?
three pieces of armor for each character.
Screw
Wow.
you,
I
Pope.
didn't get that much armor.
Pope's back.
No, you guys didn't. It's not dropping like that for you guys.
No,
No.
Pope. It's not dropping like that for
I'll be
us.
honest with you.
I got class items.
No,
That's
I could
pretty
show you.
much
I
it.
swear to God, I'll send out screenshots. I'm
I
not.
got
I'm not
class
lying.
items. My warlock has no armor except a class item. Titan, same story. My hunter got boots because I used the Knuckles of Ao to get double drops.
Three pieces of armor on both characters.
I'll.
No, it's
I'll
okay.
send it.
You don't need to send.
No, it's
anything.
okay.
Trust
It's all
me.
good. No, I've had lots of people challenge me when I'm talking about my loot drop. I thought it was just raining like that for everybody because it seemed like a lot of people in my raids teams. I played with Enkuch on one night and then on one character.
The
And then,
general consensus has been that yes, you get a lot of adept
Right.
weapons. Get the exotics right away. Like you're not leaving there having run it with 3 characters, and most people are not leaving without having all the adepts. However, the legendaries, especially the primaries, are much slower to drop, and in some cases, like with the Oversoul Edict, or actually with the Abyss Defiant, those might be more desirable than the exotic version, right? For the
Yeah.
and with armor, it seems to be 1 or 2 pieces tops for most people, which I like because you get those exotics right away, which is really exciting. But it does leave a carrot on your stick for going back and doing it for multiple weeks.
Exactly.
Because you want that armor. That armor.
I
looks
want
badass.
the armor. I'm getting the armor.
Yeah.
And the
You guys are gonna help me get it.
the ornamentation as well. The armor is only half full without the ornamentation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
and the look of the armor, I know we saw it in the video, the live stream, but when you get it and like you see somebody in tower with it right now, like active,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
it's pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wearing it when I jumped down the hole to start the Crota raid, and my horns went away, and I was like, "Yeah,
That's
that's
cool.
pretty cool."
Yeah, it does. It looks
Yeah.
best in the dark too.
Yeah.
Like it looks good in the tower, but it looks best in the dark.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys take notes on this raid? Because we're coming up to a challenge. We've challenged IGN to.
Oh, yeah.
You consider
know,
that a challenge?
Yeah, Pope, I think the answer is no. We have been taking no notes. We're just going to fly into this blind like we always do and come out victorious.
I've done
Hashtag
8 full raids so far.
I've done 7.
I've done a lot. Yeah, I've done.
I've done 2.
2?
2.
Pope casual.
That is
bear?
on Saturday, isn't it, Pope?
What's that?
Yep.
Yeah,
on
this
Saturday?
Saturday we're playing against
1 p.m.
Destin,
Pacific?
Fran, and Fredo plays, and no, I already said his name. And then three of their like, regular
Ringers?
regular raiders. I
Ringer?
have a hard time believing that they're not going to bring in some ringers.
One of the video editors is coming in as well
Okay.
from him. So yeah, no, it's
So this is the next episode of the podcast showdown. This is
the
IGN
podcast
chat,
showdown.
the Fire Team Chat versus the Destiny Community Podcast, and
That's right.
instead of doing PvP, we'll be doing a raid off.
That's
Yep.
right.
Nice.
And it's going to be fun. It's going to be, there's some rules that are going to be behind it. It's going to be like a first to the finish kind of thing, because there's going to be some points associated to finishing first. There's also going to be some points with like fewest deaths per team.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also going to be some points with like fewest swords to kill Crota. So there's going to be some.
We have commentators too, right? Aren't Typhoon Trav and
Right.
Chariona coming back to do another one?
Chariana and Typhoon Trav are going to be coming back, and they're going to do some announcing and some play-by-play and doing some switching between the different scenes. It's going to be fun, and if we want you guys all in chat to join us, it's going to be this Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific, April 1st. So make sure to show up.
That'll be fun.
I kind of want to like work behind the scenes just to sabotage the whole thing. Like get Scardro, get Scardro and like esoteric people that have soloed the raid already. Like just get them as ringers in on the fire team. It'd be fun.
We didn't talk about Crota at all. Crota saw some significant changes today.
Big time.
It
Yeah.
is a much friendlier Crota.
Yeah.
It feels significantly easier to me. Like,
Well, because he doesn't
significant.
get up and he doesn't kick your ass instantaneously.
Just
Mhm.
randomly.
Yeah, it doesn't home in on you when you're trying to jump towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did change the cheese, like that ledge cheese that everybody used to use. Where
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing. Yeah, we walked straight into the room. We're like, right, everyone to the ledge, and then we're like, everyone fell down and be like,
Yeah, same.
Wedge is
okay,
gone.
maybe not. but that's fine. You can just stand to either side. But yeah, I think the challenge. I mean, the challenge for that was still pretty good. I definitely agree that previous one is definitely, I think, the best challenge because I like how that one is sort of you can't accidentally do it.
Yeah.
I do find, I mean, like the Crota one is, it's very easy just to be like the same person can't do something, right? I mean, I think it's still cool and it works. And for teams that aren't necessarily that do kind of fall into those roles, it will present a challenge because if you're not typically a sword runner, then you might struggle with it. So there is a challenge factor in it, but I do think that's definitely a little bit of a kind of easy or lazy challenge mode in some respects.
Yeah.
I think
I would have liked
it's what
if
we
they
expected.
upped his health.
Yeah.
You think?
So that, because right now it's very easy to do in 3 sword carries. It's very, it's possible to do in 2, and it's
Possible to do it in one.
very hard to do in 1, but it is
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
I would have liked actually to see, like to up his health just a little bit.
I think it's in a
Yeah.
good spot personally, guys. And I'm speaking from people who have to go on LFG groups and get
True.
together
Sure,
and
yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah.
and that means you have to have 3 people who are guaranteed comfortable with doing the sword 50% of the time.
Yes.
Normally
If you
on
want
those
the challenge.
groups, it'd usually be like 1 or 2 people that are like that would pipe up and be like, "Oh yeah, I can do the sword," or "I like doing the sword."
Yeah.
Sometimes you get in a group
Yeah.
and nobody wants to do the sword at all.
Well, in all fairness, though, the sword is much easier to do than it used to be. It used to be such a timing thing and such a you had to get in there very quickly, do your damage, and then very quickly get out of there because the first thing he did when he stood up was go after you.
Yeah.
Now the first thing he does when he stands up is summon the Oversoul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can basically just chill out on that platform.
You have to stick
having
around
fun.
for quite a while to get him to smash you. Like
Yeah.
it takes a very long time for him to actually.
And actually,
the
if,
timing-
if your fire team is on point,
Right.
they can take him back down almost immediately.
Yeah.
His shield comes back, his shield's up for 3 seconds. So by the time he summons the Oversoul, his shield is dying. You don't need to shoot the Oversoul. You just shoot him, down him again, and then your fire team's focusing on the Oversoul. The timing of it is so easy now.
You also do a 1 oversoul technique where you don't have to have 2 of them. You just pop that oversoul right towards the very end and then it doesn't summon another one. It's really great. I think a lot of people's concerns though, when they're thinking about being a sword bearer, is the jumping. They're not necessarily worried about him slamming you. It's I slipped on the rock, fell
Missing
down,
the jump.
and now you guys are moaning
use
at me.
a warlock so you come
And
down
now
on
you
that
feel
rock
bad.
nice and lightly and float down on it. That way you have a lot of time to prepare for that landing and turn around and float back up to the
Consult your notes
Yeah,
because you were writing notes as you were floofing around as a warlock, right? In your book.
You were just sitting on
so
there
much time,
taking a
Yeah,
look at the atmosphere.
Had to bring out a book and make sure you were doing your jump right and doing the fight right. Warlocks are always researching stuff.
So the one sword
Research and
strat has been the first time I saw it was some Italian players posted it on YouTube, and then I saw Dado do it again yesterday. So one of the things that they did though was they used the Titan weapons bubble to help with the DPS.
Yep.
And what do you guys think about that? I mean, have any of you guys tried it yet?
No, but it's a very good. That's a proper strategy. You can do it without it, or you can attempt to do it with it as well. I
think having 2 Titans, and you could conserve if a regular raid team practice, they could do it easily in 2 swords.
Oh yeah,
and with 2 Titans.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. There's a lot of things you can perfect if you have a regular raid team that you're running with all the time. There's a lot of fine tuning that you can do to this raid, which is nice.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that this raid isn't super long, to be honest. Like, they seem to have just doubled down on fun and just making it an awesome experience rather than let's just make it really long and painful. It's like just get in
which
there.
makes me really look forward to Vault of Glass next week.
Vault of Glass is going to be amazing. They said
wait.
that they think, Atheon is the best challenge
No,
they've done.
I reject
and the
I would never
hardest.
say that.
No.
I reject that. That's
Atheon, guys.
No.
Atheon.
Apparently, it's the hardest challenge and the best challenge that they've done. So
Well,
I'm
be
excited
judge
to see what that is.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that.
And we're gonna do a raid together, right?
Yes.
We are, Tefty,
For
right?
the first time in a while.
noon, right?
Yes.
Noon.
Noon.
Noon
Yeah.
Pacific on Tuesday.
Noon on Tuesday. We are all going to be, if you guys want to hang out, we're going to be streaming it. Noon on Tuesday, we are going to be doing a DCP raid of the Vault of Glass. That's good. I am so excited to raid with you guys.
I don't. But this
always
is the first
at
time
work.
that you've been in one of these first time raids.
Yeah,
Since
man.
we've been doing these podcasts.
I know. I'm always at work
It's
when
gonna
you
be
guys
really
are
fun.
working. So
Yeah.
sorry, I'm trying to get better at not belittling the fact that your work is actual work. Okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Guys, are you going to bring in your fresh, crispy, hot, spanking new 400 light level Necrochasm into Vault of Glass?
I can't help
Bro,
but use
you know
it
what?
every PvE.
I know.
Everything,
It's
right?
so fun. It's so fun.
amazing. Explosions.
And
I don't
in
have
the
it yet.
Abyss, it's even better because people think your explosions are actual Thrall explosions, and
Uh-huh.
they don't know what's happening. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
It scares the hell out of your fire team in the Abyss.
Yeah.
ah!
Exactly. If you can, bring everybody. Have Necrochasm go into the Abyss. Oh my god. The explosions. It's incredible.
Now,
Now-
Necrochasm might actually be really good for when you get just overwhelmed by the ads. You can just explode everything.
Mhm.
It'd be great for Vault of Glass.
It does a lot of damage too. It can almost take out tier 2 mobs by itself if they're close enough.
Isn't
So-
that Cursed Thrall explosion more powerful than Firefly?
Oh yeah. I think Firefly. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it does close to double the damage, I believe, of it in PvP. Actually, I take that back. I don't remember the initial one.
It
But
doesn't chain as well as Firefly, though, right?
What do you mean?
Firefly will blow something up, and then if it kills something next to it, it'll blow that thing up, and
No.
if that kills,
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay.
Did it ever
Used
do
to
that?
that way?
I don't remember Firefly ever chaining.
I don't remember Firefly.
It's a
daisy
great
chaining at all.
idea, though, Briar.
Yeah.
It used
Yeah.
to.
It
It
is a
definitely
great
used to
idea.
chain.
Mm,
That would be awesome
I don't
if
think
that was
so.
a hunter gunslinger perk. Like if you killed somebody with a headshot, it would chain.
Yeah, I like
The
that.
explosions.
I like that. Let's do that. That sounds
Bloom.
great.
Yeah, remember you could
Bloom is the only
chain
thing
the
that'll
hammers too. So you could get a line of guys get exploding with the hammers.
Well, the hammers, there was explosions of
It's Icebreaker that could do
Icebreaker,
it. Because,
okay, it's just
because the
Icebreaker, okay.
Icebreaker explosions still count as Icebreaker damage. If it killed something, it would cause another yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Necrochasm, if you shoot a lightning grenade, spike grenade, or trip mine grenade in PvP, I believe regardless of it being friendly or not, if it's an enemy or friendly, it'll explode.
That sounds like
That's
fun.
It's great.
I want
I
to do
gotta
it
be
all
honest
the
with you. I
time.
tried out Necrochasm in PvP today. Was not digging it. It just doesn't have the stability that I need on that
Counterbalance.
kind of a weapon.
Gotta have counterbalance.
Yeah, you can go CQB ballistics and fitted stock, which is what I did, and it's manageable, but
Yeah.
you're fighting the recoil. You're fighting.
Yeah, and that gun is definitely most useful at close range, and there are a lot more shotguns as of today than there were this time last week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was part of the patch too. There were PvP changes, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll talk about those next week, I guess.
You know,
It's PvP. We bitch about it enough and talk about it enough when we actually don't have content.
changes, you can feel the changes to special ammo. That's about all I could say about it. That and Abyss Defiant is pretty fucking good.
Haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
Take your word on that
it's
one.
not bad. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
I've heard it's not bad.
But
I've
yeah,
enjoyed
you
it
get
in
more
PvE.
weapon variety now with the special ammo changes than you did last week.
Yeah.
You know what else isn't that bad?
What?
Pretty good, in fact.
What?
What
These
is it?
wild mics and headphones that we're using, because no
what?
doubt you've noticed some. They're just some of the iconic gear that Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, internet creators, and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. Their Yeti USB mic is the internet's most popular microphone, and their MoFi and Lola headphones Sorry, drank some water.
No, that was
Deliver
just
insane sound.
So good.
It's so good. They deliver insane sound and a very personalized fit. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience. Learn more about Blue at BlueMic.com. And while we're plugging stuff, you should get yourself a Blue microphone at BlueMic.com, and you should head on over to the Destiny Community Podcast Discord server and talk to everyone there. We have actually a very active looking for group community on both consoles. So, if you wanna, go run the raid with some people, go run it with the Destiny Community Podcast. Not us, but like people of the community.
Not us guys.
No,
Passionate
that's
listeners.
I was in there. You know how we all talked about jumping in there and talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there and I grabbed some people and did some different, like a Nightfall and different strikes and things like that. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys that are in chat and getting a chance.
The folks
to
that
play
you
with
find in there are kind of guaranteed to be passionate about Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
not an LFG. This is
No,
an LFG of people who listen to a Destiny podcast.
Yeah.
I think our
Passionate
listeners are a
Destiny.
special breed. They're a special breed. They're passionate
Especially
about.
awesome breed.
And
Yes.
apparently there's now 700 people in there. So that's a lot of people.
Wow,
Good.
that's a pretty good
That's a lot.
Discord.
Yeah, it's a good stuff, man. I recommend everybody go check it out if we can. Yeah, we have links already in chat. Our mods are awesome.
Yep.
But
The info is in the description if you're watching the YouTube video, or you can come into any of our chats on Twitch and type in either Discord or
Exclamation
something.
DCPD.
DCPD.
Yeah, I think it's the
DCPD.
same across all of the.
Did we
I
just
think it's
announce
the
this last week? Is it 700 already?
Uh huh.
yeah, we announced
Making
it
with
last week.
Fire only has like 8. We're just blowing it out.
Oh my god.
You want to do some Twitter questions?
Let's move to some Twitter questions.
Yeah.
All right. DJ says, how important is the potential addition of beards to Destiny 2 when it comes to your overall satisfaction in the final product?
So important. If there are no
Very
beards,
Let's go with this one.
if there are no beards, I'm cancelling my pre-order.
And then re-enabling it.
I was hoping there was going to be like a clip-on.
If there's no
beards,
beards,
no,
I'm cancelling Destiny. There'll be no more Destiny. I'll be like, YouTube, I'm sorry, I want to turn to Minecraft.
You know what's got beards? Monster Hunter has beards.
It does. Exactly.
You know what else has
Yeah.
beards? This podcast. Their guest, Pope Tefty Breyer. We got at least 4 good beards here. I got some fate, some
Yeah.
loss.
You sometimes have a
Three and a
beard.
half, I'd say.
Sometimes.
No,
I'm not going to add myself to that number.
no D2 beards. I'm deleting my Twitch channel. JK.
Mhm.
There
Do you
we
guys
go.
get the Twitter messages constantly? Like every time a beard is anywhere, like at all in any
Yeah.
of the material, you get like a
They
ton of-
tag me too. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm so excited.
Yeah, people are confusing the stubble of like a few days I haven't shaven
That's not a
with the beard.
That's like,
I know.
Guys, just
Yeah, this-
dirty.
This is my worry, right? This is my worry that they'll say, "Hey, we put beards in Destiny," but they won't actually be beards. They'll just be, it'll be stubble. It'll be like, I mean, it's progress, but realistically, right? If you've been through a lot and you've lost the tower, you've lost your gear, you've also clearly lost your razor, so you can't
Yeah.
shave.
Exactly.
Therefore,
I
just
would
leave
like.
it.
I
You got
would
the
like
Destiny
more.
3 5 o'clock shadow expansion coming, I'm sure. And by Destiny
More-
5, we'll have a fully formed beard.
Maybe.
More importantly than anything, I would like to have, an Asian guardian, different races. I mean, just
There
more
kinda are.
diversity. No, there isn't.
It's limited.
There,
It is.
there's
limited.
way more Caucasian options than there are.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I'm an awoken.
Also, if there's
Oh,
going to be
nice.
beards, there needs to be a beard for the EXO as well. There needs to be like a mechanical beard.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
From Russ.
Yeah.
Oh, there needs to be
Very
glitter beards for awoken. I want glitter
I
beards.
lost me.
bedazzled beards.
Bedazzled
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like sparkle.
Yes.
I will give
Your
my
EXO.
lady a beard if that is the case. She will have a fat beard.
Iridescent beards.
I saw somebody on Twitter said if Deej's jacket isn't a warlock option in Destiny 2, I'm not buying it. Hunter Lucas says, do you think showing the Cabal boss was too much? I think he was referring to Gary. I would have liked a big reveal cutscene in the game.
Well,
I don't think so, honestly.
people are assuming that that's the boss. Maybe it's
Yeah.
not the boss. Maybe it's just one of the Centurion, like the elites,
lieutenants.
Yeah.
They certainly lead you to believe that's the boss.
Even if he is the boss, we don't know how tall he is. It was a very, very short view. We barely know his name.
Gaul.
Gil, Gary.
I'm not going to take him.
And he could be massive. And he could ride into battle on one of those new Cabal space dogs.
Yes.
You might not see his final form.
We don't know. We don't really. I think honestly, how big he is pretty important because that's going to be how intimidating he is. We don't know what weapon he uses. We just saw like this. So
he's covered in metal.
Yeah.
He's a metal guy. It doesn't really.
With that being said, though, I do hope that Bungie just doesn't go flat out and reveal everything before Destiny 2
Me
comes
too.
out.
They did that before.
They've done that a lot of times. Like, in this expansion that we're in now, we knew every new exotic that was coming out before it was coming out. We knew.
I don't want to know any of that.
We saw every piece of armor. We saw everything, it feels like. It's still fun to go get it, but it's so much more fun if it catches you by surprise.
Yes.
I'd really like to see Bungie. I'm okay with them leaking specific details. Show us one exotic, 2 exotics, but leave the other 18 of them to just be a total.
The other 50.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 50,
whatever.
come on.
You know what I mean?
The other 50 of them.
I need to make a lot of YouTube videos. Bungie, get on it.
Yeah.
Also, can we also not have data mining? Please.
Yeah.
Can we just stop all of this, please?
I think they fixed that, right?
Did they?
I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Because I think back to when I first started, when we played in year 1, I genuinely didn't know. Well, genuinely didn't know everything. And I went into Vault of Glass. And my first exotic was Icebreaker, and I'd never seen it before. And I was like, this is so awesome. Whereas as you say, we go into all the new expansions. It's like, all right, where do I get this gun from? Because I know what I'm looking for. And it takes away some of the magic.
Yeah, exactly. It really does.
It does.
I want to be blind going in with that tower being destroyed and pick up some special gun and be like, guys, what is this? And everybody inspects me and they're like, oh my God, what is that? And same thing,
I recognize it's a fine line to walk too. It's like you want to show this stuff off to get people excited to go get it. But saving some of that magic does enhance the player experience once you get it.
Well, showing the enemies fine. They've done that in 3 of the 5 things. We didn't know the end boss in original, and we didn't know who the end boss was in Rise of Iron.
Wait, do we still know what the end boss is in the original?
Atheon, assume. No. That's what it was kind of leading to with Vault of Glass.
There's no antagonist
right away.
There's no antagonist in Destiny 1.
Whatever. We knew who the antagonist was. We knew who the antagonist was in Dark Below, in House of Wolves, and Taken King. So
the darkness.
Yeah.
Which specific agents of the darkness?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Exactly.
Gotta Go says people are worrying about community splitting due to the PC release. What are your thoughts on that? Also, how many of you are moving to PC? So this was a very common question. It was asked, I think, in 20 different ways today.
Mm-hmm.
This is my only answer to that.
Confirmed. Anybody moving over? How do you feel about the community kind of getting integrated with the PC Master Race?
Oh no, I don't see it to be honest. I just see it as a bigger audience, more people to kind of to bring into the Destiny fold. I can see where people are coming from. Mm-hmm. But I think more players is always a good thing, and I think it's also important to kind of break into different markets. I mean, they obviously want to try and break further into places like Korea and China and whatnot, and obviously console gaming is just not as big over there. So I think it's an important step forward for the game. I think the other thing people need to remember is that if you have an existing player base, your friends play on PlayStation, a lot of people that play together and enjoy playing together are still going to stay playing together. So I think the communities you currently have are still going to remain. It just means there'll be more people. And if you don't go to PC, you're probably not actually going to be heavily impacted by them. I mean, yes, I appreciate one of the kind of comments is that there is some toxicity that sometimes comes from PC players, but I don't think it's necessarily always fair to say that's from PC players. I think it's just people, right? You can't really kind of control that stuff. But I think it's a good move. I think one of the main things that's going to be super important is that they have to make sure their cheat detection is on point, because obviously if it suddenly comes to raid day and PC players are hacking their way through, it's going to that'll be a big divide. I mean, another game that I cover heavily, like Division. I mean, I love the game, but they had so many problems with hackers around the beginning of the game that it just played. It created this divide, and it just means that any kind of, especially you take a look at competitive stuff or stuff in Destiny where people come together like raid days, like world first days, that has so much meaning right now, like on Xbox and PS4, because everyone's on even footing. If suddenly, PC changes that, then I can appreciate, the divide. But I think it's a good move. I think it's an important move. I mean, I would like to play on PC, but given the exclusivity, I feel like as a content creator, I'm going to have to play on PS4. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably jump between both platforms, to be honest.
I've seen 3 basic reasons for people to be a little trepidatious about this. On the content creator side, with it attracting more people, it's also going to attract more content creators. And some people have expressed concern that, currently big content creators on the YouTube side have 500, 600, 700, 800,000 YouTube viewers. And all of a sudden, already today, we've seen people with 2, 3, 4, 5 million subscribers start to, okay, Destiny is serious now. So let's look into that. Also, competitive guys are very worried that the competitive scene is going to move off of the PlayStation 4,
it
which
won't.
I don't think will. Like, if you look at the history of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And then we've already seen a little bit on the Reddit, a little bit of tension between the PC guys and the console guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's already starting to happen. So I think as a community, if we can support people who are positive and inviting, if we can promote that type of activity in our community, like we've been doing for the last 2.5 years, we can overcome any small disturbances that come up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I completely agree with you on that. Destiny community has encouraged positivity. It's encouraged rating everyone, keeping the community being built. So I think if we continue with that, whether someone's on PlayStation, PC, or Xbox, then the community will stay a positive place if you don't let the negativity take over. And that's up to us as a community as a whole to do that. I personally will probably do PS4 primarily. I want to see what the PC is going to be like before I'm like, PC all the way. Because it could be a bad
Could be a
port.
garbage port. Yeah.
Right. It could be a really bad port. It could have really bad cheating. I wanted to also bring up a poll that Bungie Informa did, because that one has about 3,500 votes currently of which platform people are going to play on. 51% PS4, 37% Xbox One, and 12% PC.
That's pretty similar from all the polls that I've seen, regardless of
that's
amounts of people.
That's gonna be weighed by the people who are currently playing Destiny.
Right, exactly.
People who follow Bungie Informer are going to be console players.
Yeah,
The
but
people,
I think
the
that's
new
kind of
players, the biggest growth market for Destiny 2 is the PC.
Totally.
Yeah. So
do that poll in 2 years, you might get a completely different result.
Right, but I think a lot of people were really worried about people going from PS4 to PC and everyone just leaving.
Abandoning.
It's like the people who started on PS4 or Xbox would probably stay there. That's where their clans are, their friends. That's where they've grown with this game. New players coming in and people who really prefer PC will be on PC. But I don't think people need to worry about PlayStation being and Xbox being a desert that no one plays on.
Yeah, a lot of people have been coming to my chat and asking that too, and being like, "Hey, do you think I need to switch to PC? All my friends are on PS4 though, that type of thing." And honestly, stay where your friends are. Like, if you want to switch to PC,
that's the best.
If you want to switch to PC because of the graphics, that's going to wear off in a few days after you get used to the shininess.
Right.
And then it's going to boil down to just the gameplay experience. So you might as well stay on the platform where your friends are, because you're going to get the most fun out of that. As for me, if I'm starting on a PS4 or PC and that type of thing, I am with Watts 100% on this. I'm worried that the PC port is going to have driver issues, frame rate issues, connectivity problems, cheating, hacking, all that stuff. I don't want to be a day one player on PC and have to worry about that stuff first. And on the content creating side, the exclusives are going to be on PS4. So I am most likely going to start out on PS4 and then jump over to PC as I see things are good and the drivers aren't a problem and there's no launch issues. Because I'd hate to start it up, be like, oh my god, I can't wait to play Destiny 2, and all of a sudden crash 30 minutes in. I'd be like,
just No Man's Skies on you.
Yeah,
a week after launch, you realize that there's a major bug where you lose your entire inventory every 7 days.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, who knows, right?
Yeah, what would be really nice. I mean, I don't think we're going to get it, but given the fact that there's 3 platforms, but it would be amazing if there was some sort of way that, like, especially given the exclusivity, like PS4 and PC could work in a way similar to Final Fantasy 14, where like if you have, let's say your character was saved on like Bungie.net instead, and you could just log on a PC or PS4 and play. And that's actually a really good thing as well, because that for the people that are kind of worried about the sort of toxicity between PC players on Final Fantasy 14. they actually work really nicely together because PS4 players can actually play with PC players. So you find that you'll have like a raiding team where it'll be comprised of both players. You know, people will be playing on controller and people will be playing on keyboard and mouse, and like they work really well together. I don't quite know whether that will happen simply because there's Xbox One in the mix, and of course there's obviously not going to be cross between that because that would mess with the exclusives. But if they did that, I mean, that would be the perfect answer. I'll play on PS4, jump on PC for a bit, jump on PS4. Yeah,
that's what I want. Yeah. That is my biggest dream.
I don't even need cross play. I just want my characters to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's
cross data.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
How Dish asks, do you think Bungie should keep the model of wiping our gear between games, or should beards be transferable between Destiny 2 and 3? Thanks.
Obviously, beards.
Look, we'll get to the whole transferring between games when we get to the next game. At this point, I'm sure people would like it just as people liked it. People would have liked it from Destiny 1, Destiny 2 for all this stuff. There was obviously a big hubbub about know your stuff transferring over. But it could be that this time 3 years from now we're like, the game's in a really good state. Let's just continue forward with this. Everything's balanced and perfect in a magical Christmas wonderland, and we don't need to pull a hard reset on everything.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
They're probably going to need to do a hard reset at some point. You don't want to be playing with the same weapons for 6 years.
That's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you want them to shake that up because, if they do end up creating another Gjallarhorn that everybody uses for every activity, at some point you've got to cut that off. You've got to draw a line in the sand and move on.
Yeah.
And with PvP, PvP, it's even harder than PvE.
Yeah, it allows them to make a better game if they're learning from it and they're like, this weapon's not really working, or we don't really like the perks that we've put on this thing. So it's a lot easier for them to improve on their game if they're just like, let's just start again, rebuild everything from what we've learned.
I think also the more people play these kind of games, the more they'll get used to it. Because I mean, one thing I think people sort of found is that when people first play Destiny, right back from the beginning, it's for a lot of people, if they didn't play things like Warcraft or MMOs before, this is their first kind of foray into a sort of MMO style game. So for example, even with I think when Dark Below came out, the previous gear, of course, when it didn't carry forward, people were like, well, I worked half my Vault gear, why couldn't I bring it forward? Anyone that played Warcraft or anything is like, I'm used to this, I grabbed my raid gear, an expansion comes out, and suddenly my crappy blue gear is better than my perfectly tuned raid gear. I think if you come from a game that's that's not like that, if you come from playing Call of Duty to something like Destiny, so it must be a weird thing because if you feel like if you have invested time for something, you should then be able to hold on to that. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I don't want to suddenly 6 years down the line still be wielding Fatebringer. It's no, I want to mix it up. So yeah.
Yep.
Completely agree.
Okay. Josh G says, when building an authentic taco, does the meat go first or the lettuce and cheese?
Meat first.
I think the French fries go first, right, guys?
French fries?
It depends on how you've
pepper.
dipped it in batter and fried it, honestly.
I'm pretty sure we need to discuss the Latin food aficionado or consult Latin food aficionado on this one.
Pope, if you get a taco from Taco Bell and the meat's on top but the lettuce is on the bottom, is that the correct way to order your taco? Does it really matter if it's all in a?
I'm not going to get baited into this. I am not going to get baited into this.
The disdain on your face is incredible.
I have never been triggered so hard. And the fact that everybody has been tweeting at me when they go to Taco Bell or Del Taco or any other shit Mexican.
I specifically went to the shittiest Mexican food place that I know and ordered the most gringo just thing that I could. It's crappy rice, crappy beans, and chicken covered in cheese. And it looked in the lighting plate. It looked just like this color of.
From somebody that lives in California, where the quality of Latin American, Mexican food, whatever you want to call it, is so high. The fact that you guys talk about it in this way just hurts my soul.
I know, man. You guys got Del Taco out there.
Listen,
that's pretty legit.
Pope, I'm with you, man. I haven't eaten at Taco Bell in literally years. I will not go near the place. So I'm with you.
Yeah, because you don't. I mean,
I'm in Sacramento.
Stop
This
it.
is
You're
delicious
breaking, you're
places.
breaking character. Stop it. Only Taco Bell.
You haven't had
No.
a delicious Doritos Locos taco, Tefty. You need to get on the craze. That has enough salt content that you know it fills your daily salt requirement for the next 10 years.
I can't have grade F meat ingested in my system. Sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's great
Guys,
F for
thank you,
fun.
Zepti.
Great effort, fun. That is incorrect information. That is fake news.
I love how like the conversations on the podcast turn into these memes for throughout the week. It's so entertaining for me. Like people were like messaging me going, why does Watts hate, Mexican food so much, and I'm like, it's just a joke.
They don't understand. It's very sad. It's very
It's Taco Bell's amazing.
Oh my
Master
god.
Ruth said, how would you feel if the Queen's Guard Awoken, Firebreak Titans, or Osiris's groups were available as class or race options?
I will be Brother Vance, Lady Edition.
Your
my
screen's
official
just just black the entire time, and you're like,
But I'm a god at everything.
Feel-
It'll be great. And I have an
the
iPad.
force.
I get a free iPad.
Right.
I did like the way they introduced the third subclasses in the Taken King. I thought that was brilliant, and it would be cool if we go through a similar process in Destiny 2. Maybe you get to choose which one you go first, and kind of like specialize which way you go. Like,
That'd
do I
be
want
cool.
Solar Void or?
Yeah. Like really make your choices matter. Like I want to play like this. This is my thing. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or imagine what if it was like completely rewrite the system and suddenly it's more like an MMO skill tree where you don't actually have 3 different subclasses, but you have different sort of like trees that you can spec into, and then suddenly you could imagine if you could then cross take abilities. So you take like the triple jump or shade step from Night Stalker, but then suddenly you take the super from Gunslinger, and then it could
That'd
be
be
crazy.
cool.
I don't want that
Yeah.
crutch anywhere near my glorious
Patrick,
gunslinger.
shut up.
Hey, shade step is my life. Shade step is like I live for shade step.
That's how you play an aggressive hunter. You go in there, you get in a bad spot, you get out.
You throw a
That's how-
knife.
That's
Throw
how I
a
play
knife and
defensive
end it.
hunter.
You don't get out.
You get out.
Dark Souls and Monster Hunter teaches me if you're in danger, you roll. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's why.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Mhm.
James Pratt says, as streamers, you meet lots of different nationalities, each with their own sense of humor. So
As a
why are
Crucible
Brits
player.
the funniest?
Because we understand sarcasm.
That's very true. That's
You have an
very true.
advanced degree in it.
You
And-
can you can laugh at yourself, and you can have people joke about you, and it's like, okay.
This is true. And we like to queue as well.
Yes.
So I think that's why. I think, yeah. And we're like,
Brits love
we're-
a good cue.
Exactly. We love a good queue, and then we're like far too polite to say if something actually like pisses us off. So we have to keep it.
Just tut.
Exactly, yeah.
Steven says, are you happy with the solution to vault space Bungie has come up with in Destiny 2?
It's a brilliant.
You guys want more vault space,
Oh.
or just get rid of all the vault space?
I got
way.
so many pictures of the burning vault
I
texted
bet you
to me
did.
or tweeted to me this week. Hey, they finally fixed your vault.
Well, here's the deal. Like, would it hurt that much more if they had given us more vault space, aka we had more stuff to lose?
True.
I think we have
No,
enough.
I think
stuff.
it would have been better.
Yeah.
We have like 130 weapon slots alone
What?
to lose.
No.
That we've been filling for 3 years.
Oh, you're talking about on your characters too. That's why.
Yeah, characters too.
I don't know. It was pretty
Doesn't
painful
matter.
deleting all my relics. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you let me delete it.
No.
I
That's
I suffer no remorse.
that hurts me and benefits you, so it's even worse.
So
definitely
I
not.
just want to throw back to the previous question because I put out a straw poll of the best Mexican food, and apparently to our listeners, Taco Bell is the best Mexican food. With
I love our listeners
With
so
50
much.
4%.
Authentic Mexican food right in the title. I don't understand.
and then I put what that isn't food. 41% coming in on Pope's side there, with 5% saying Del Taco. So looks like Taco Bell's carrying this discussion right now.
Yep. Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Fortune says, any quality of life changes you guys would like to see in Destiny 2?
so many quality of life changes that we have right now are based on the current game that we have.
Right.
So like for all we know, there like the entire game could just be flipped on its head. I mean, we're losing all of our abilities. We have to regain them back. Vault space is gone. Maybe because we don't even need vault space anymore.
Yeah.
Like I think talking about quality of life stuff is a little bit too far out right now. We can probably talk about
a lot of questions that kind of caught me in that way, and I'm sorry to everybody I didn't select those types of questions just because like what class are you going to select in Destiny 2? I haven't even seen the classes yet. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Juan Camilo said, if you were in the battle,
can I go back to that previous question, because I think there is a quality of life thing that resonates with me when you asked that question, and that was not having to I was watching the live stream of IGN when they were looking at the trailer, and Destin brought this up. It's not having to fly around everywhere, and I'm hoping in Destiny 2 is a quality of life that we have outposts that they've hinted at and they've talked about a little bit, but like,
have they done that, or was that?
Yeah, it's in some of the material, outposts and stuff like that. I don't remember exactly where. Was it that?
Yeah,
I thought it was leaks.
Yeah, it's leaks.
Yeah,
okay, my fault then. I'm sorry, but I'm really hoping that they have places that are intermediate places, like we were talking about our ship, that we don't have to spend so much time in orbit. I mean, that's a big quality of life thing.
Less loading times. Across.
There is
loading screens are great.
Yeah, one thing I would throw into quality of life, like obviously again, assuming the game could completely change, but if consumable items do exist, it'd be nice to be able to map them. Like for example, heavy ammo synth, if I could map it down on the D-pad, so I don't have to go to my menu.
That'd be
great. So nice.
If
emotes those menus loaded faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Or a quick menu wheel to just hold down a button.
That would be perfect as well. Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
That is one thing.
Remappable emotes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remappable. I'd love to be able to chain my emotes, and just be like, just
come to think of it, Fortune. Yeah, we got a lot of quality.
Don't let me be the one that just tells everyone to shut up.
Camilo.
I've never been accused of that.
Yeah.
Juan Camilo says, if you were in a battle against the Cabal, who would you like to follow and why? Cade, Zavala, or Ikora? He also adds DCP rules. Thank you, Juan.
Well, if you're actually choosing someone to follow into battle,
Titan.
Being completely honest, Cade's probably not the best to follow into battle because he's going to be doing his own thing. You saw him
liar
to get a drink.
I follow Cade.
Yeah, I'm going.
Cade gives you the best opportunity to shine like a badass.
Yeah. No, it's going to give you the best opportunity for a story afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's gonna get you killed.
Which is a story.
I follow Ikora because
For him
she's a stormcaller, and I've fought many stormcallers
Yeah.
who only use a shotgun.
shot
Notice
lock.
she never used a primary. She only uses shotgun melee. So she's gonna kill everything. I'm gonna sit there.
I despise her and everything she stands for.
I heard they're renaming them. Heard they're renaming them to skill callers in Destiny 2. So
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Thanks to Ikora.
yeah. So
Yeah. No, I'm definitely following Zavala. He's gonna be throwing down that support bubble down. I'll be dipping in and out of there, getting my blessing of light.
spoken like a
It
true
reminds
Titan.
me of the beginning of Iron Man, where would you rather be in the Humvee or the Fun V?
Exactly.
The Humvee?
I like how in the cutscene Zavala meleeed with his weapon too. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Turn it
That was
around,
very
like,
cool.
He did.
He had a shadow price and he just beat a Cabal over the face with it.
Man, that would be awesome.
Well,
if you could do that.
it's in the lore, right?
It's in the
I
lore
mean, he
now,
was
so it can be in the
probably
game.
just like, I'm a Titan. I don't know how to aim. I just
I don't know how to
punch
reload.
things. So
This thing's
he-
out of bullets. How work now?
Well, isn't it in the lore that he in one of the Grimoire cards, one of the new ones, that he talks about he runs out of bullets and he starts using his gun to beat them? I can't
all
read
those
on
missed shots.
I'll call
Titans,
I'll ask
they
him
just know
later.
how to run and punch.
I
I was
By
watching
speed up.
I was watching a video from Mylar Games.
Mylan?
yeah.
Games. Sorry. He's got some great stuff, man. He's got this one that just talks about the history of Jurgen Lore with
Dragon
Dragon Yor, and it's a great video. Great. And
video. He's very good.
yeah, so shout out to him. I mean, I've been watching these lore videos and Bife and him and our buddy
Wally?
Sir Wally.
Yeah, he's back.
Wallet.
Sir Wallace
Yeah,
came
he's
in.
back, dude. He did a video. I watched it and I'm like, that voice, that guy, he's back.
But I'm not a YouTuber.
I know he's not a YouTuber, but he did that. He did, and he even did a shout out to Bife and Mylan Games at the end of it. But man, it was so great to see him back.
Bo Islam says, "Did you guys like the tweaks they did? Bungie did to Crota's End." I think we already answered that, so I'll move on.
10
T
out of 10.
Scorpio says, "Do you think the PC version of Destiny 2 could be released under the Xbox Play Anywhere platform?"
I don't think
So
so.
they confirmed today it's coming out on Steam.
Right, which means it's
It
definitely
could possibly
not.
come out on the Microsoft Store as well. But
Here's,
they only had pre-orders
here's the
open
thing,
for Steam, right?
here's the thing: is Call of Duty doing Play Anywhere?
No, because it's PlayStation exclusive, so I don't think they can get Play Anywhere.
Yes.
I think they'll be blocked by that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Daps says, "What's the main difference between Destiny 2 Limited Edition and Collector's Edition?" You
The
get
bag.
No bag. No bag.
You get no
And then
bag.
keep your
I
And
can-
a large aluminum foil blanket.
I can honestly do without the bag. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The bag's not selling it for
I
me.
kind of
And-
dig the bag.
And
though.
why do we need a solar charger? We live do you see any sun in here?
Yeah.
Charge our cell phones?
Because we live at the
It's definitely not as cool as the
Patrick.
Ghost from the original Destiny, right? The original Destiny collector
Yeah.
had the Ghost in it.
But
Just watch. We're gonna see that bag in the story somewhere by that super cool person Hawthorne, and we're gonna be like, "Damn it, I wish I had a bag."
I'll tell you where we're going to see
No.
that bag. eBay.
All over Guardian Con is what I thought you were going to say.
My,
I'm telling you, the ghost. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying the little Cade dude is pretty awesome. I'm really happy
Yeah,
these
yeah.
game guys came out.
If the collector's edition had the entire tower crew in those,
Oh, that'd be
That's-
awesome.
Yeah, that would have been
right?
really
If you
dope.
got the collector's edition, you got all the full set. I mean,
That would be pretty cool.
right?
Pope, you telling me you're not going to rock that man bag?
Okay,
I'm not
You
rocking
can,
the
you
man
can wear it as
Come
a
on.
backpack.
so here's the thing. Okay, for $250, you could buy the collector's edition, or you could buy the limited edition and the McFarlane Gallahorn replica.
Yes. Did
True.
you see that? That's
Yeah.
dope. It's $100
$250 could go either way.
Yep, it's $100 for that. For that,
150.
$150.
Those are
for
available
that.
for pre-order right now too.
Yeah, I want one, man. Those are dope.
Mark Muriel says, "Do you think Destiny 2 will attempt to have a real competitive PvP community? And if so, do you think that will be on PC?"
No.
It entirely
no.
it entirely depends on the game, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some games are just randomly weirdly competitive, but I
Yeah.
feel like first person shooter market it's pretty saturated right
Do you
now.
think they're going for it though? Do you think Bungie has that in their agenda?
I don't think
it's
so.
their
I don't
agenda.
think so. I don't think so. They're obviously gonna try to make a good PvP experience.
Right.
But being able to take it to that competitive scene that Overwatch and like Counter Strike are on, I don't see it happening.
Also,
I don't think they've built this PvP experience up from like, yeah, guys, we're going to have big esports experiences. I think it's just we want to make a good PvP experience. We want to make it fun for everyone. They always constantly say that they're balancing the game around this middle pack of people. Whereas you see like super competitive games, they will balance it based on the top, and that will kind of trickle down to everyone.
yeah.
So I don't think that's really what they're aiming
Also,
for.
you have to look at the market that Destiny fills. There is, like you said, that esport first-person shooter market is saturated right now, heavily,
Yes.
and in both on console and on PC. If you look at the console market that Destiny fills in a PvE focus, it's extremely limited. Like you have the Division and you have Warframe,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
it. So that is their bread and butter right now. That's that market that they have that is extremely lucrative that people are dying to play more of. Like this update, bringing the raids back, people are super excited to raid again. And more of that coming in Destiny 2. You see, they're aware that that is the primo market that they have captured right now with Destiny. So you guys are absolutely right. They're going to make a fun PvP experience. But I don't think it's going to be like, okay, we have to make an extremely competitive esport out of Destiny. I don't think they're focusing on that.
Nope.
Horad Gameplay says, I get we lose our guns, but that means we are level 40 and we have to unlock our abilities already, right? I think he means we won't have to level up our characters again, will we?
Yes, we will.
Yes,
we will.
I imagine we will.
Yeah. Imagine you just bought Metroid 2. Have that mindset going into Destiny 2. I think that would serve you well.
Yeah, it's a separate game, right? It's not like you're suddenly gonna have to unlock all the stuff you've already had. It's gonna be a completely different game.
Yep.
Right.
And yeah,
there's a narrative string, but that's about it.
And I like that it's just like, you're gonna have to learn a new way to fight, and I love that.
Yep.
Tyler Andrew Zelnis says, how much do you guys want to have in the beta? AKA, how many missions, strikes, Crucible playlists, etc.?
The tiniest amount possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One PvP map, one level that I play the shit out of.
Yeah.
First light again, please.
I think they did a pretty good job with the original beta, right? It's like they had, you could patrol the Cosmodrome, you had one strike available. Did you have 2 or 3 missions available?
There were
three.
There were 3 in the alpha, and then I think 5 in the beta.
And then they opened up some more on the moon, like one more on the moon, and then you could patrol the moon as well. And then was it just First Light that was available?
Couldn't you do Sepix Prime also?
Yeah, you could do Sepix Prime.
Yeah.
You could do Sepix Prime on normal and heroic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had all of Earth and then one mission on the moon, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all thinking, this is awesome. I hope this isn't a quarter of the game.
Yeah, when I play it, I knew it too. I was like, oh, wow, this is a quarter of the game.
And they said, oh, yeah, that was about 10% of the game. It's like, motherfucker, that was like 30% of the game.
What is there, Korok seeds in here? The hell?
Destiny Guardian says, Collector's Edition already sold out. Think they'll make more? Fallout 4 did.
Yeah.
I cried a little at GameStop.
It sold out really fast.
Yeah.
Really,
I hope they
really
make
fast.
more. If people want them, I think you should be able to get them.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I would keep your eyes open at like Best Buy or there was a bunch on that list.
There's going to be a half dozen, Asian commerce websites that are going to have that exact bag for sale, for $50 less. So
yeah,
it's not the same.
No, I mean,
edition and a Galahorn.
No, I don't know. I hope they don't make any knockoffs, and I hope that Bungie gets all the money that they have coming to them for the amount of time and effort they put into a game. But for me personally, I've already said my piece on it, but I think I would have wanted more artsy craftsy stuff like that says more collector's edition to me than
a bag.
A bag.
Yeah.
I thought the Strange Coin was great. I thought the Cade 6 book was great. The Treasure Island book was great. Obviously, the original Ghost was amazing.
Yeah.
This is expensive for what it is, I feel like. But I'm sure, if it's sold out, good on you. Punkalot says, if everything gets destroyed, does that mean less vault space in Destiny 2? Also, how are you guys managing now? He says, I don't have any space.
I got 10
I'm managing great. I deleted everything that I didn't use before this came out.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good spot.
I couldn't do that.
I've never had space.
So I had to get help doing it. But yeah, I basically did the same thing. And
I straight up massacred my vault the week before, both on Xbox and PS4. Thanks, chat.
I've always been like
you needed like every piece of armor in your vault.
Yeah. Everything. I kept like.
I've always been like super careful about what I hold on to. Like I only ever held on to like the complete raid sets from all the different raids and like a few like raid weapons and everything like that. But other things I just used to kind of like use for a bit and then get rid of.
Yeah.
I will say once Destiny 2 comes around, I just don't see myself coming back to Destiny 1 ever. I just don't see it happening.
Nope.
I think they had a post on Reddit. I think Fuzzle linked it the other day. It was like a good idea. It's like just before the day before Destiny 2 goes live, everyone should take their Guardian to like the Tower Bar and just like leave them there in your armor. So it's like you're having like your final drink and then you just like log off and you never touch it.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Frank S says, do you think the PC port will be good? The Advanced Warfare PC port, which is horrible, will be done by the same guys, basically.
Same company.
Saying. So, yeah. I don't know. If
we have no idea. There's no way to know if it's going to be good or not.
Well, we will wait and see, which is the point of the public beta. And
that's the point of the beta.
And the point of not pre-ordering games.
And gives us literally nothing to talk about.
Just saying.
Ringo the Gun says, do PS4 exclusive items prevent cross-platform character management backend for D2?
Possibly. I have no idea how their backend's set up.
Like, how hard can the programming be? If the guy has a Zen Meteor on PS4, he could still go over to Xbox One, but he just won't have access to that gun.
They're not going to do that.
How hard could that be?
As long as they set up their own provisional hooks in the code to deactivate stuff, then they could do it. But they have to prepare for that, if they are going to have this cross-platform stuff. Or not cross-platform.
Why do you say they're not going to do that, Pope? You seem to dismiss that out of hand.
I think that the way that publishers work is they sell the funding for games. They hedge their bets on the cost of production and they have very few limited tools to do that, to generate that kind of capital. One of which is exclusives. And I don't think that they're going to set up a system that negates that that platform exclusivity that PlayStation wants. I think they tier it out, top tier console, and then I just don't see a marketing company selling PlayStation on being the premier console for Destiny and allowing that to happen. And it's just me being cynical, but I just don't think they're going to operate that way. And I think it's great for the community. I wish it would happen, and I am completely against console.
I think it sells more copies of Destiny.
Sells more copies of PS4.
Sells more copies of Destiny, though, specifically, because if you're faced with the decision, okay, I've got the PS4 version, I got a few friends who play on Xbox, but God damn it, I don't really want to grind all the way through it again just so I could go raiding with them.
Yeah.
But if I could just transfer my characters right over, fuck it, I'll just go buy a copy so I can play with my friends over on Xbox.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Sure. Yeah.
That's true. I do agree with Pope, though. I think there could be a corporate culture involved that says it is just going to be bad business for Sony if they allow account transfers, which I do not want. I think it would suck, but at the same time, it could be that thing, the upper marketing.
So I don't see the downside for Sony.
Sony gets to hold it all. That's what they want.
Because if you want to, play the game that doesn't have or that isn't restricted by exclusives, you'll buy a PS4.
They still have that, though. This doesn't take anything away from them.
I forgot what was his original question. This is about transferring stuff or
transferring characters throughout the platforms. I like how you argued the point without knowing what the point was.
Oh yeah. I heard we're talking about exclusives. I'm over here blowing up stuff with Necrochasm, man. Come on.
My gosh.
I think the most you'd see would be, if you were going to get that, would just be between PS4 and PC. Because one of the interesting things you often find with exclusives is they're weirdly worded. Because it happened with Division, where when it was first launched, it was marketed as Xbox exclusive, but what actually transpired was it was just Xbox and PC exclusive, because effectively when Microsoft and Sony are doing their exclusives, they effectively just want to make sure the other console platform holder doesn't have it. They don't tend to care about PC. So I think if you did have that, it would end up just being PS4, and you could also get that exclusive content on PC, just not on Xbox.
Interesting.
Which is also a bit messed up, because then suddenly you have two platforms that can have it. But yeah, either way, it's not a very kind of great sort of position to be in. But
Detail says, so can we die or can't we, or space magic?
Space magic.
Space magic. Always the answer.
Gary.
Oh man.
Gary for speaker, guys.
Yeah.
If you're right, Tefty, I am gonna be so
the speaker's evil.
He's evil.
All right.
He's in cahoots with the Cabal. He's Cabal's.
He is not a good guy. How about that?
I think your guys are wrong. The speaker is.
I'll place a bet with you, Pope. I'll place a bet with you.
What is it?
If the speaker is evil, if it turns out speaker is evil, you have to go to Taco Bell and eat a Doritos Locos Taco Bell taco.
No, let's do
I
that.
But if you are right and the speaker is good, I have to go eat some of your fancy Mexican cuisine.
That's not a
No,
doubt.
no, no,
Yeah.
no,
This-
no,
this-
no,
oh,
no, no.
yeah,
This
No,
is
right.
this is very
what's gonna happen.
balanced. This is very
No, no.
balanced.
No, you got to eat like you got to actually
send
eat
you
like
to a
horse berries,
sushi restaurant.
man.
No, I'm gonna send you to a sushi restaurant, and you're gonna get sashimi,
Okay.
and you're gonna
No, give them the uni.
You'll
It
have,
tastes like ocean garbage.
yeah, you're gonna get uni.
Okay.
Ugh.
I guess you can like it, but you can at least say like, you're gonna have to go eat airport sushi or something like that.
No, you're
you get
gonna go
actually
to
sick
you're gonna
from
have
that.
to go to a good
Get on a
good
plane-
Mexican restaurant.
plane
I'm gonna find a good Mexican restaurant up in Seattle, and I'm gonna have Watts take you out to dinner, and then you're gonna have to report back how delicious it was.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like
I agree with this bet. All right.
Tiger
Wait a
Waits at Night says, if Destiny 2 gameplay is in May and pre-order will be needed for the beta, what do you think will be shown off at E3? I actually found this to be an interesting question. I expected the gameplay to be shown off at E3. What do you guys think? It's kind of threw off the schedule for what we
They're
thought was.
showing off the gameplay beforehand, so they can kind of get ahead of the E3 hype because it would probably get lost in a lot of good stuff that's supposed to be.
No
at E3.
way Destiny 2 gets lost this year in anything.
Rather do have your stuff be known about, so going into E3, people are really wanting to see it. Because let me tell you, when you're at one of those conferences, you have no idea what's going on for the most part.
The rest of the world
E3
does
is
though.
the
The rest of the
conference
world
that gets
does.
covered by mainstream press.
Yes.
It's
For
the
North
one
America.
place, right?
For North America.
For North America. True enough. Like if you want your game covered on CBS Morning News, you got to show it at E3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do what did they do for Fallout? They rented a building across the street.
Bethesda did their own conference.
Right. They did their own thing. They didn't worry about what was going on at E3, but they kind of tied it in to it being in the same city
That's a
and
publisher
everything.
though. Activision has Bungie.
I reckon they'll just do it because you look at how like Bungie have revealed things recently. Like they have like their staggered streams. They'll obviously like I reckon on May it'll be like an hour long stream where they show like some stuff and it'll be more sort of like questions and whatnot. And then E3 will probably be more targeted. Maybe it could even be like a pre-recorded video or something that's got like select gameplay and talking about like some of the more expansive systems. Or it could be their timeline changed completely. I mean, they're fortunate because of course they have the deal with Sony. Because interestingly, for things like E3. Publishers, platform console holders or platform holders are actually super tight when it comes to if anything gets leaked for an announcement, they typically pull it from E3. So if it wasn't Destiny, let's say if it was like a smaller game and their trailer or information about their game got leaked ahead of E3, they would then just lose their place in the E3 press conference.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously Destiny has a lot more weight, so they can get away with their kind of like stuff because Sony can't afford to like let them go. But yeah, so it could also be their timeline was just sort of changed slightly given all the stuff that happened recently.
Interesting.
Do you guys think just this just dawned on me? Do you think we're gonna get I think we're gonna get a PlayStation exclusive like
Alpha.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna be tied in with it is gonna be the sell of a PS4 Pro limited edition console.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
And
want
all
And
those.
I
that
will
on
buy
stage at E3.
I missed out
Yeah,
on the
I mean,
PS4
it was
one
about
because
it.
I was broke.
Right. So there's going to be some PS4 Pro like version, right? Maybe some updated version. It's going to be bundled with Destiny 2, brought out at E3 with, early access to the alpha. That's the package.
I could see him being up on stage doing a trailer for Destiny 2, bringing somebody out from Activision or Bungie and saying you can play it on Thursday in the alpha exclusively on PlayStation 4.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the announcement.
They want a
And-
big announcement at E3.
And
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's true.
buy a PS4 Pro, PlayStation 2, Destiny 2 console if it comes out. I'm gonna get one. It's
The first one was beautiful. I'm still really jealous of the people who have that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm thinking about taking. I have 3 right now. I think I'll just take one and put it in the bathroom. I spent a lot of time on the toilet, so it'd be right.
You're gonna
Mount a nice little TV in the bathtub, and you can, you can
just sit
bathe
back.
in Destiny at the same time.
Yeah, this is beautiful, right?
I'm saying, if you ate Taco Bell, like you wouldn't be on the bathroom a lot. It would just go straight through you, and then you're done.
If I'm raiding with you though, and I hear Bubbles, man, I'm kicking you out of that party.
No.
Oh man.
Eleneki says, "Do you think gameplay reveal will be console or PC? When do you think we'll
Good question.
find out if it's 30 or 60 frames per second on console? During the reveal?
I imagine on May 18th. 18th.
Yeah.
18th.
Yeah.
The gameplay reveal will be on PS4.
Yeah,
Oh,
because of exclusivity. Yeah.
It's
I think
always
it'll be PS4
Really?
Pro, right?
Yeah.
Billy,
Pro.
show it.
at least Billy will say
Yeah.
it's on PS4.
Well,
Yeah.
that's going to be really exciting. They're going to be like PS4 Pro footage. What are they doing
Yeah.
with the enhanced hardware? Because they have to take advantage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, and we'll know right away if it's 60 frames per second. Like
Yes.
we'll be able to see right away.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I would think that they wouldn't show us 30 frames per second video if it was running at 60. I can't imagine they'd be that.
Yeah, and it's also
Yeah.
a live reveal. So they're going to be, I imagine it's a scripted, staged, hey, Deej is playing and Cosmo, doing
Yeah.
some stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you can stream 60 on Twitch. We all do
Yes. Yeah.
it. Even though the game runs at 30, we still do it.
And the reason is because it gives a more stable 30 FPS when you stream at 60. For those that are wondering.
Isn't that weird? It's weird. K-Brass. Zur is on the Earth in the trailer.
No,
Is
he's
it safe
not.
to
It's-
assume that he will be unable to bring new items, preventing people from getting exotics too early. He's stuck here. He can't go back to the 9 to get the exotics.
He's lost his space magic. Also, that's a hunter.
You
Are
really
sure?
don't
'Cause
think
I
it's
looked
there?
at
It
I
was.
thought
If we saw if you look at the armor, I thought it was there initially, and then you see
Yeah.
some armor, and it looks like a guardian.
So what do
I don't
you
see a backpack either.
explain
There's
what
definitely no
explain what
backpack.
explain what they're talking about? Right.
Okay, at
Or-
like the very end
Gotcha.
of the trailer, in the Zavala section, in the crowd, there's a very hooded figure where the hood goes like down over his face like this, and
Like
he's
hunters.
and he's just being like someone in the crowd. Also, doesn't have a backpack on, which Zur always has.
And he just-
Does he have a warlock bond? Doesn't Zur have a warlock bond?
Yeah. Also, a very distinct lack of glowy face tentacles in there. So, I'm gonna say it's a hunter, a very, very gothy hunter.
I mean, he's down his luck. Tower's been destroyed.
She's upset.
Yeah.
So confirmed, Zur is dead. K-Brass.
Yeah, true.
K-Brash says Zur is on. Oh, I'm sorry, I just read that one. Sean Erekkz said, "Should I kick out a clanmate because his name is Gary?"
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
I'd say you take a
There you
vote.
go.
Yeah. Well, it's always going to be yes. I mean, anybody who has does PlayStation allow you to change your clan or your gamer tag yet?
No.
No.
What do you think? This is
No.
like 2001? Of course not.
So if you have your Gary in your name, you should just join every chat apologizing profusely the first thing you get in there. That's the only
Hi
advice I
guys,
can
I'm
give.
Gary. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My name's Gary.
I thought this was the Taco Bell.
Another question from K-Bash.
Just snorted.
K-Brash. Why do you think there has not been much hype for being world's first to complete challenge mode compared to normal and hard mode?
Old Rids.
Is there?
You knew all the mechanics for the main fight going in.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah,
going to
Because
reinvent.
everybody
these
got
things.
access to them at different times because we were
Yeah.
downloading them and they were immediately
Oh,
accessible.
God. What a cluster that was, guys, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
even
oh,
our
yeah.
fire team, there was like a 20-minute difference between when people in our fire team
Yeah.
And
got access.
Xbox handled that so much better. Techie, I
Xbox
was
always
watching your
does.
stream.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Because Xbox has better like data servers than PlayStation.
You know why? It's because they own their data servers and they own the
Yeah.
software and they make it. Whereas,
You know why? Because Microsoft and they do this shit.
seriously,
So
I
that's their
believe
job.
PlayStation outsources it to it's on the tip of my
Somebody
Amazon.
they should be doing it.
Cisco. They outsource
Yes.
it to Cisco, and they apparently don't care about upgrading that stuff. Again, it's like 2001 with PSN.
It is
It's
slow.
I was watching your stream, Tefty, and you were like sitting there with the PS4 going doo-doo-doo, and then you
1%.
switch over to Xbox in like 3 minutes. You're up and playing, you know. And I
Basically.
was like, what? Wow,
Yeah.
God, man.
Twisted Fate says we don't see any ghosts in the Destiny 2 reveal trailer. Thoughts on why?
You went over this one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of talked about this, right? Cameron Robinson said, "Did you expect more from the reveal trailer?" I know
Honestly,
the
yes.
game is a couple
I
of
did.
months out, but felt
No,
like
I-
an extended teaser to me.
I honestly expected more. Basically, this was a second teaser, except we have 100% confirmation on like what's happening and who the bad guys are, and also Cabal doggos.
Yeah, I don't feel like this at all, guys. Honestly, like I feel they gave us a legit story setup. They said, "Here's the antagonist. Here's the reason your tower's getting destroyed. This is what you're looking at." I did not expect any visual or even talk of Destiny 2 until the end of April. So this is incredible in my mind. It's like,
Yeah.
hey to Triumph. Oh, by the way, get incredibly hyped. So yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I wasn't
Bungie
expecting.
hypes well, like they know how to start a hype train rolling, and they're doing it.
For sure.
Yep.
I was not upset with the trailer. I thought it was a great teaser trailer. You know, it's a announcement trailer, and with all the information that got announced in the periphery, like the collector's editions and the betas and everything else that was going on today that
Right.
wasn't exactly in that trailer. There's a lot going on. So
There was a lot, yeah.
it's just somebody trying to absorb everything. I thought it was a pretty fucking good day.
Do you guys?
I thought it was great.
Do you guys remember? This is incredible, actually. This comes full circle. Do you guys remember back when Destiny first came out? There was a promotion. You can actually look this ad up with Taco Bell. And there's a guy that shows up. There's a guy that shows up. He's eating something. He's like, "Oh, hey guys," and like I think it's Zavala was like giving a speech, or some Titan is giving a speech about how we're gonna be champions and become legend. He's like, "Yeah, what's this all about?" And he like accidentally fires the Galahorn off in the crowd, and then the other Guardians look at him, and then it's like Taco Bell play. You might win a PS4 in Destiny.
I remember that. Yeah.
I remember going to Taco Bell. I was like, man, that would be sweet to get that Taco Bell PS4 for a giveaway.
Yeah.
He accidentally
a
fires
golden
his
PS4,
Galahorn.
right? Wasn't it golden?
It was the Destiny edition PS4.
Oh, okay. It must have been a different one I was thinking of. I request everybody in this community to gift that and send it promptly to Pope Bear.
No.
Oh my god.
Middlebar says, "What is your favorite piece of information that was revealed in the video?" Everybody got a favorite that they want to share?
You guys already know my favorite.
I liked the tons of loot. That's good. I like that the boss is called Gary. It was a good
Yeah, that
name.
was good. Yeah.
I think my favorite piece of information, though, doesn't even come from the video. It's knowing that we're getting 2 DLCs and kind of knowing what those DLCs are about. And the fact that it's about, Osiris and Rasputin, which we've had a lot of interaction with in year one, Destiny 1. And now we're actually learning more about it and delving more into that, I think is really cool. So that's
Those
what
are
I was most
really
excited.
interesting story threads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm with you, Watts. I think you nailed it.
I think.
Also, Cabal dogs.
Yes, definitely.
Those are pretty interesting.
Yep.
And space combat.
Yep.
Not confirmed.
Daniel Dennis says, "Really wanting to upgrade to 4K since I got a new 4K TV. Do you guys think there will be a PS4 Pro bundle for Destiny 2?
I would
Can't
say
hurt to
yes.
wait. That's what I say. Can't hurt
Yeah.
to wait.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. In fact, aside from if you really want the collector's edition, in which case go pre-order right now because it's going to run out.
Yep.
If you're planning on buying a digital copy, don't pre-order that until the last fucking minute, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Keep that money in your pocket, in your bank account, earning interest for you.
Well,
You can
and
earn
also
interest on your bank account.
also know. Oh my god. Also know that Briar. Also, it's a good idea to wait on the pre-orders for the digital copies, because sometimes different outlets where you buy it from have different digital exclusives, right? And we don't know if
Yeah.
Destiny's going to do that, but sometimes GameStop has a different piece of armor or yada yada yada. We've seen it in Halo.
Sometimes Amazon runs sales on not only the game, but also on those, PSN points or Xbox Live points.
And we're assuming that there's going to be a console as well. That's going to be a PlayStation.
About.
Right, I know, but I'm saying, so if you wait on that, then you don't want to buy it and then have the console come with it, right?
Right. I would wait as long as you can. Wait as long as you can.
Yeah.
Hi, JR says, what do you think of Ikora Ray being a shotgun tickle fingers?
Typical. I mean, there's that one mission where they say that Ikora was really good in the Crucible and she kicked Shax's ass. Of course. How else would she do it than being
He
a
still can't sit down.
As a day one Warlock Watts, I really resent these remarks.
You're not a Warlock, Briar. Just give me that shit.
They call me a liar, Pope.
I'm calling you
calling out right now.
I'm calling you out. Give me one piece of lore. Give me one piece of lore from a Warlock. If you're such a Warlock, give me one piece of credible lore. Name one of your people.
Life.
No. In game, in the Grimoire, name one that you can tell me a story about besides Ikora Ray.
Yeah. Osiris.
He's a Titan.
Is he?
I always thought he was a Titan, personally.
I don't think we know.
I'm really hoping he is now.
I don't know. I feel like
we've never seen Osiris.
No, I think he says an old warlock.
Toland's a warlock.
Oh, yeah,
Toland is a warlock, not Osiris.
Oh, no, he's a warlock.
He's not.
Only a warlock would know.
I'm pretty sure Osiris is a warlock, guys.
All right. Well, chat's saying he is, so they're usually right. God damn it. All right, you got that one, Brian. You just guessed. You guessed.
Bullshit. I had tea with him 2 days ago.
He made an educated guess because that's what warlocks do. They're educated.
I watch bite videos. What the fuck? What am I, dumb?
I don't want to answer that. Now that you're a warlock, I figure you're gonna double cross me somewhere.
He's just gonna educate me. That's all.
Let's do like two more questions, Briar.
That's it. We're done.
Oh, we're done.
We're done.
Oh man,
nailed it.
I know it's we haven't get through them anymore, but I threw them all.
Arekkz is kind of like nodding off over there.
Sorry.
You lost a lot of sleep. This has got to be killing you.
It's all right. I only have to get up in like an hour and a half, so it's all good.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine. It's the weekend, right? It's all good. It's good. No, it's worth it. It's worth it.
We'll go ahead and end the podcast then. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you are all very, very hyped for Destiny 2. If you want to find more of me, I am Holtzmann @_YT on Twitter. You can find me there tweeting excellent Mexican food.
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me flooping about YouTube if you look for the Briar Rabbit channel. You can find me throwing Nova bombs on Twitch if you look for Briar Rabbit. Or
not hitting anything, though. Just throwing
or self-resing on Twitter. Just look for the Briar Rabbit.
Beautiful. I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me @Teft on Twitter. Catch the streams I do on twitch.tv/TeftyTeft, usually 6 p.m. Pacific time. And I've been posting some Destiny content also on my YouTube channel as well. Starting that back up on Tefty Teft.
And I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch @Miss 5000 Watts.
Go ahead, Arekkz.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that would be me. I'm Arekkz. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, most of which are under either Arekkz or Arekkz Gaming. So search those and you should find me.
And I definitely think you guys need to check out his content. I mean, I find your stuff super entertaining and always on point. And plus, I just love your accent. So we're just going to go with that. This has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter @Pope Bear and kind of nailing around these guys' channels on Twitch. And but also you can find us this Saturday on the podcast showdown. Don't miss it. We're challenging the IGN guys of Fire Team Chat to a raid off at Crota's end. It's going to be a speed run. We're going to have Chariana. We're going to have Typhoon Trav commenting over it. This is going to be fun as hell. You guys definitely need to be there.
And it's 1 p.m. Pacific this Saturday. Yes?
Yep.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Pacific.
1 p.m. Pacific. And you can probably find it on all of our Twitch channels and then probably on the YouTubes afterwards.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next week with probably even some more Destiny 2 hype. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you can go ahead and